Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Last Arc YouTube channel, Coo Interview. We are not joined by Lucas at the moment as he is helmsmanning his way home from work, but I am here to direct this ship as the special grade sorcerer of the Last Arc. And today we are interviewing a very special guest of the Last Arc by the name of...
Tree the Wolf, that's me. What's up, guys? I'm I'm ready. I'm kind of excited. I was a I was a little nervous last night getting the pre-stream willies, you know?
Stream Willie. Well, what do you do? Where can the people find you? What do you like to play? Like, spit
Fair.
your flowers, dog.
The people can find me in the Gang Discord or sometimes on the Last Arc actually hanging out in VC. Otherwise, I sometimes stream on Tree the Wolf or twitch.com/Tree the Wolf. And sometimes I post videos on TikTok/Tree the Wolf or at Tree the Wolf. I don't know how TikTok does their URLs, but I'm there too sometimes.
That's pretty dope. And how long would you say you've been a fan of One Piece for? Seeing as we're on a One Piece themed
Oh,
channel.
how long have I been a fan of One Piece? Dang man, that's crazy. Ah, when did you move? It was
2020.
like 2020, so about 3 years then. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, I actually have a little bit of a history with my boy Cody here. We lived in the same area, and he moved, and the last thing he like talked to me about before moving was like, "Bro, you gotta check out One Piece." So after he moved, I got really into it. So next I saw him, we could chat about it, and here we are, all caught up. It's crazy.
Still hasn't seen me.
I still haven't seen him. No.
No, it's okay. What have been some of your most memorable moments throughout the journey of One Piece? What are some moments that have made you like really choke up and made you think like this series has been one of your favorites? Like what hooked you as a moment for a One Piece fan?
What hooked me? Oh, man, it's like I remember feeling angsty about it. I've tried to get into One Piece a few times. There was like watching it, I made it a few episodes in and I was like, I can't do this. And it was always the art style just looked so funky and I it wasn't for me. I felt very detached from it. And as I have a history with pirates before One Piece, like studying them on the wiki page because it was a hyper focus of mine because I'm weird, I guess. I don't know. But trying to get into One Piece was very difficult. And when it finally clicked, I was like angstily reading it. And then next thing I knew, I was like actively like crying over the manga when like Luffy put his hat on Nami and I was like, "Oh shit. When did I when did I become attached to these characters?" And I knew at that moment I was in danger and I had like another 900 chapters to read. Like,
Arlong Park is a really big getter for a lot of people. That's a lot
yeah.
where a lot of like veterans tell newcomers if you read up to Arlong Park and you like what the themes of One Piece is set up for those arcs and later on arcs of foreshadowing and everything, then you'll like everything else One Piece has to offer. So I like that that's like the moment you defined as like what hooked you. That's really interesting.
Well,
Um
I it's tough because it's like I don't know if that's specifically what hooked me, but that was when I realized that I wasn't angstily reading it anymore. I
but
was actually enjoying the content, and I was like, "Dang,
like just firing
uh,
off that question and hearing that as your answer, it's really cool to hear that. Like, it's like we get to examine a new One Piece fan. You're like under the microscope of all of us veterans being like, what would it be like if we started One Piece almost? Um, who would you say would be your favorite character pre-time skip?
it's my boy Ace, homie. Uh, Ace so good. I, I don't know. Do we talk spoilers on the channel here in front of the people?
Uh,
Let's just say I had something spoiled that I knew was coming, and then there was a moment right before it happened where I was like, "Oh, thank God. I thought it was gonna happen right now." And then it happened anyways, and like that sucked. Like even knowing
Oh,
it was coming and still getting sideswiped from it with that moment of like relief, you know? Like ah, it got me. But yeah,
oh,
Ace is my boy. Uh and then post time skip is Law. I assume that question's coming. I just think he's cool.
I was actually gonna ask, discussing favorite pre-time skip characters. What would be your favorite pre-time skip arc then, going through that chunk of the manga?
Man, is it bad to say Marineford? I feel like it has to be. Like that's where my boy got that's where the stakes of One Piece became like legitimate and it started feeling like, oh, hold on. We're not just gonna go from island to island having a happy jolly time. It's like there are there are risks now, and it felt like a very big tone shift for the story. At least I feel during Marineford. So I think that's my favorite arc from pre-time skip.
A lot of people say that. A lot of people say Enies Lobby. A lot of people bring up Skypiea. A lot of
He
people
was
bring
the
up
best.
Alabasta. And
I love yeah.
I think, Alabasta has a lot of great moments in it. I like Skypiea because it has like I think it's a part of. I think if we had to segment it down to like just one arc in particular, I think maybe Jaya would be my favorite out of every pre-time skip interaction because of the inverse interaction of like the introduction of Blackbeard and showing how Blackbeard's dreams are the same in Luffy, but how Luffy would never use Blackbeard's approach towards going it, but Blackbeard respecting it, all while talking about fruit pies, like and drinks at a bar. Like the Oda setting up like one of the like major antagonists of One Piece, and like the dichotomy of how his dreams and how like everything like works with him over cherry pie. Like Jaya also like Nolan's descendants being there. There's a lot more that I like when I decide to actually go through like my top 3 favorite arcs in One Piece and I have to defend Jaya to the end. I'm ready. But that it's really good. And I think like out of all of pre-time skip, I think that's like where I get the most enjoyment when like rereading or rewatching and I'm like, "Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, are you guys seeing this? Oh my gosh. Oh my
Yeah.
like Luffy like imitating Shanks at the bar. Like it's just there's a lot of good moments there.
A really nice parallel. I the ideals that were instilled into Luffy from essentially being raised by like Shanks. And it's strange like uh thinking about like Garp is like controlling and like I want you to do this, I want you to do this, and Luffy looking up to Shanks and like seeing that the freedom that Shanks represents in his own life and like chasing after that dream. So to Luffy, being a pirate is being free. What when it doesn't matter what you are, you can do the good or bad. Like I yeah, I feel that. And then carrying that on into Jaya was
What
One
has
Piece
been your
good.
it's even crazier that like the way I even see like maybe I'm reading too far into it, but seeing Luffy imitate Shanks and seeing Blackbeard respect Luffy after showing that imitation of Red Haired's like code, like really makes me wonder what does Blackbeard actually think of Red Hair and what would make their altercation so pivotal to the series? Like what made them fight
That
in the
was
first
after their
place?
altercation, right? Yeah.
Yep, because when Blackbeard first saw him at Marineford, Blackbeard literally looked at him and said, "Dang, red haired, you look good. That scar is really that's spotting, dog." He's like, "Teach, shut up. You won. Get out of here. Teach, you won. Let me drag these guys back. Like D stream, pin that. I can do anything. I mean, the
I'm
person who's controlling the TLA channel can do anything. They sure
I'm
can."
very curious about why they were fighting and why it wasn't to the death, you know? I like Blackbeard and Shanks
Yeah. I've
specifically.
always wondered that too. Like, what the first altercation would have been over, and like why it would have been fought so hard. And I think maybe, I think Shanks was hiding out in the East Blue away from Blackbeard after stealing that fruit, and Blackbeard was like already hunting fruits with Whitebeard's divisions and such. And Blackbeard was maybe after the fruit, but you know me and my agendas. Like,
I know I've seen some people talk about maybe Shanks got the scar during the 3-day fight, but I haven't seen a lot of things to disprove that, but not necessarily a lot of stuff to go with that as well. I just to toss a theory out there.
Well, and another thing is we never see Blackbeard use the claws again as an older adult. We only see him use guns and pistols and stuff. We never see, um, we never like when Blackbeard was a child fighting with on Whitebeard's crew. As a child, he had the claws when he was fighting Buggy and Shanks. But then later on in life, when Impel Down came out, he's using guns. When he pulls up on Marineford on Whitebeard, he's shooting him. He's got like three other pistols strapped up. I wonder if maybe if Shanks like broke those gloves. It's like you're done, Kitty declawed. But
I
that
like the
also make
idea of like self-preservation for Blackbeard, and it's he's like, I can't keep getting into melee like scuffs. Like I gotta step back and not put myself in that danger. And, like swapping the guns for some sort of reason similar to that would be it would make sense.
oh man, all this talk about Shanks has really got me wondering. What has been your favorite arc post time skip?
Post time skip feels like such a blur. It's like riding off of Marineford and then just feeling sad for like the next 300 chapters, regardless of what I was reading, because it really left an impression on me, you know? Uh, that's a good question.
Thanks. I spent
Oh
all
boy.
night writing.
Dressrosa was after that, after time skip, right?
No. So the way after post time skip goes is we have the Return to Sabaody, we have Fishman Island, Punk Hazard, Dressrosa. Then after Dressrosa, Sanji defects, and the crew has to go to Zoe to figure out why Sanji defected. Then Whole Cake, then
Mm.
Wano, the three acts of Wano. Then we have,
Three
hmm,
acts. That's crazy.
yo, dog, that's my goat. You better watch out. That's my goat,
And then
Wano.
Egghead. Yeah, I Dressrosa was really nice. I think I really liked Zoe though. Uh
Zoe
Zoa?
is so
Zoe?
short, Zoe. Yeah.
I thought it was cool. I don't know, like a little bit of like backstory with the animal races or the minks, and like it's just it was cool because we hadn't explored a lot of that, and it was a lot of new information.
Oh, for sure. Like the like after arc dumps are like some of the best ever. Like I'm obviously skipping over Reverie and all those like short little arcs and everything, but like I think Reverie is one of the like most impactful I've ever seen the One Piece community spring up during Wano. Maybe like Odin's flashback was another big one, but most of the One Piece community was like, God damn, this shit's still going on. End the flashback. And I was like, guys, if they end the flashback here, we have to get the rest of it in the castle. Just let them play it out. And also, I was like, it's my goat Odin. I'm not sure how many more times I'm gonna see him after this. Give him another chapter. Give him another chapter.
Um, I d- Egghead is so good, but I feel like a lot of it's recency bias. So I don't want to say that's my top one. After it's also the first arc that I've experienced being fully caught up. Like I caught up very shortly after Luffy's new form on Wano, to not say what it is, but I it's hard to avoid, you know. Shortly after that I had caught up and I caught like the tail end of Wano, but I've been here since the beginning of Egghead, and like it's there've just been it is it's like dropping bombs of lore and pivotal chunks of information nonstop. And I forget what the word is when you just start giving lore, like, but
You're
I
lore
really
dumping.
like that.
You're lore dumping on us. Oda's lore dumping. He's answering the questions of 20 and 25 years of accumulations of setup, and he still hasn't answered everything, even. That's what's wild to think about is that while Oda is answering questions, here's the craziest thing: he's still setting up stuff. Oda, you don't gotta. I remember, like, I think it was like a year ago. I remember saying, "Hey guys, do you remember this weird panel of Akainu talking about the deliberation going on in heaven, he's talking about this group called the Holy Knights. What if Marishwa has these like specially trained groups of celestial dragons that are super strong out there? Wouldn't that be great? Year later, bam, Garling and everyone. And I was like, dang, my TikTok. This is why people watch me, I think. Like, just from that one little panel of Oda, though, like in the middle of Wano, he's like, yeah, I'm going to set up my series, but we got to set up another faction, and then we're going to slowly reveal them while I'm giving the big lore dump so that people still want to. Oh, like, Oda, come on, man. We don't need that. I don't need Shanks to have a dad. Shanks being the first person to know his dad in One Piece is tragic. Actually, no, Sabo knew his, but it's not like his was any better. Vivi knew hers, but not like he was any better. My Cobra agenda goes, but no. So you would say Egghead or Dressrosa?
Yeah, I really liked Dressrosa. I feel that Doflamingo was just one hell of a villain.
He
And
was also set up for so long too, all the way back in the Jaya, all the way back in Jaya with freaking Bellamy, Bellamy, dude. In Dressrosa, one of the greatest like character turn arcs, I think. Like nobody was gonna say, "Dang dog, Bellamy's one of the goats of Dressrosa," but like if you say that it's someone reading the beginning of the series, they'd be like, "No way, he's a one-off villain."
I, I feel like out of all of the villains or antagonists that we've seen in One Piece, Doflamingo is like the most irredeemable. Like he just,
Uh,
am I
Dofi's
that?
up there. I think Blackbeard's up there. I
Well,
think
we haven't encountered Blackbeard yet. Is what I'm saying. Like we know he's being set up. We've seen the stuff he's done, but we haven't like had that matchup quite yet.
Crocodile, but I mean, I guess Crocodile's not so bad. Well, he did have that whole country under
Crocodile's
his
pretty
thumb and
bad.
droughted him. Yeah.
I don't
Uh,
know.
Moria's pretty bad. Moria's just annoying though. I feel like, especially if you watch the anime with that dub voice. I see Vex, the lurking legend, in chat, and I already know what his favorite arc is. The meme answer is Thriller Bark. I don't know what his actual number one is, but anyone who will defend Thriller Bark to the depths that Vex will, that's got to be his favorite.
I thought Thriller Bark was okay. I don't
Ooh.
think any arc in One Piece is skippable. So like it would be criminal to say that one over something like there are arcs that are more skippable than others, but none of them are skippable, you
Syrup
know.
Village. Who need Syrup Village? Get rid of them.
Whoa. Oh my god, oh my
Carrot,
god.
pepper, and onion. Get rid of the
Davy
Usopp
Backbite
pirates.
arc.
No. Oh yeah, I could get rid of that one too. Yeah.
Oh, oof.
I'm spitting slander out here. I actually heard a really cool theory though from one of the homies on the channel. I think it's our doctor slash emergency food of the last arc. But speaking of Syrup Village, wouldn't it be cool to see Usopp's pirates showing up to like the final fight for the One Piece in the going
Uh,
Usopp for the
no, I'd be down for that. Just
And I mean,
another
if Kobe can have his glow up like that in like less than 2 years, and it's been a 2 year time skip since we've seen them dudes, like that'd be hecka cool. That'd be mondo cool. I can't swear.
ooh, actually no. Do you want to talk spoilers a little? We were talking the other day about potential who Ace beat, which warlord.
Uh huh.
What are your thoughts on that? What do you I tossed up the fact that if 1100 spoilers, that was they showed all of the warlords, and smack dab in the middle of all of the warlords for some reason Alvito was there. And sure, it could be like just show Kobe at the time so you get a better time frame, but why is Alvita in with all of the other warlords, and why does she care if this new warlord could beat her or not? And I said, what if she got absolutely rocked by Ace, and that was the warlord that was he beat? which
A
would
lot
also
of
parallel Luffy's first uh fight, or you know what I mean.
a lot of the big theories for who the warlord is they think it's one, a new character that'll be introduced to the story that Ace had beaten, and that will be the man marked by flames. Two, that there is no warlord that Ace beat, and that because Ace turned down the position, that's why there was a vacant spot. And so that just in creating the warlords, Ace turning down made a vacant slot, saying, "No, I don't want that." So that's what made a vacant slot open. And then the last one is it like Scopper Gaban. People think that third pirate from Roger's cruise could somehow have been beaten by Ace in like his rookie days and had to like was a warlord for some rhyme or reason after Roger's execution, which I don't buy into it. I'm just bringing it up
Yeah.
because it's the only other big one I've heard out of the clamorings of like Reddit posts, Twitter posts, TikTok comments I read through. Like those are the three like most repeating options that I see. But I think the reason they show Alvida and Kobe is just to give frame of reference of how close we are to the beginning of the series.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense, but also everything else in the chapter also alluded to when we were. So but it's also like Alvida in the center of all of the other ones. Like, why
It's a
was her
good
panel
meme
put there?
answer. It's a good meme answer.
Well, I'm not trying to meme on it though. I'm being genuine.
I don't think it's a genuine answer. I think it's literally just shown to show for frame of reference. I think
Dang! Wow!
I
I'm
think
feeling
that
the
after
love.
seeing like after seeing Alvida serve under Buggy's crew, and now seeing Alvida serve under the Cross Guild underneath Mihawk, Crocodile, and Buggy, if like Alvida was the warlord that got like disassociated from the position that Ace knocked her from, why wasn't she of more notoriety, and why wasn't it a bigger deal when the genius gesture of East Blue and Alvida teamed up?
I suppose that's fair.
I just have too many gripes with it for me to like actually like. It's very funny because it's like there's so much evidence to be like, yeah, dog, it just makes sense, and it would make sense, and if Oda did it, it'd be very funny, haha. I'd accept it, but like as
I
it
mean,
stands right now,
who else like right off the island would Ace be able to like take down that's in the East Blue, you know? It's strange.
I don't know, but that's a crazy war. Three time skip warlords didn't seem that strong for some reason. Mihawk, Doflamingo, Crocodile. I mean, if you want to get real about it, after that point, Moria and Kaido had already clashed, and Moria survived a clash after Kaido. That says something. Boa Hancock has been shown to have Conqueror's Hockey and exuberant strength, and I mean, Jinbei's the first son of the sea who clashed with Fire Fist Ace for like 7 days straight. At that time, we didn't. I know, I know. I just got to defend my boys. My warlords are my boy. Rolling with the pack. Where you at? I'm coming
Do
at you.
do we know why Ace and Jinbei clashed for a few days?
Because Ace wanted to take Whitebeard's head, and Jinbei's like, "You ain't built like that, son. You can't get through me, son. Ain't no
Yeah,
way I'm gonna let you
that's
see
right. That's right.
pops." Like Jinbei literally said, "You're not built like that."
Get vibe checked.
He
Yeah.
literally said, "Son, vibe check," and if Ace said, "Okay, check me," and they checked each other for 7 days.
I think it's
Oh,
crazy that they went even. So like to have someone at Ace's I I it feels wrong to say his max potential because there was a little bit more time that passed before, And
he is the
but
direct son of Gold Roger.
yeah,
I mean, and also like Jinbei to like, I don't know who you're more impressed with, Jinbei or Ace, because they're both powerhouses in their own regards. Like when you're
like
talking about like at that echelon of the verse, no one's like weak at that point. It's just impressive.
power scaling Ace to Jinbei and then thinking about where the crew is now and like Jinbei's strength to everything that's gone on, and thinking about if Ace was in that position instead of Jinbei, if they're even, would he have held up? Like it's just
What are you
interesting to think
talking
about.
about?
What do you mean? What am I talking about? I'm saying if Jinbei and Ace went even,
If
then
they were to fight with current Jinbei now versus that Ace, what would happen?
did Jinbei train?
Jinbei hasn't trained, but I've also seen Jinbei rival hockey on the level of Big Mom over at Whole Cake Island when he resisted life or cake. Um, I remember.
That's interesting. In Marineford, there's another moment where it was when he clashed with the Kainu. He's like, I'm not afraid to die. And like that's foreshadowing into his encounter with Big Mom of like, I don't fear death. Try it. Like
Yeah, it's like, and then him fighting Who's Who and getting like the buff that he did and seeing that he has control over hockey with Fishman Karate, like it's just insane for me to think what he would do with it. I don't know if current Jinbei is stronger than 2 years ago Jinbei, but I don't think he's been lacking. And I think hockey only grows in the heat of battle. So they're only getting Luffy. Hockey's so good. Hockey made my brain go bare. It's not a JJK Yuji versus Toto like masterpiece. Like watching Yuji's growth and like understanding why his explosive development is so great. But watching Luffy throughout Wano, seeing his hockey like transform, and once he understands how to work hockey and like using the concepts of it to get stronger, like Law Kid. I mean, Zoro had like a basic grasp on hockey, but it felt like he was more applying hockey to his swordsmanship than actually trying to use hockey in and of itself. Luki
did
or
did he swap
Luki
blades before or after the roof roof piece?
before he swapped blades before he had Enma on the top. That's why in the anime, I don't know if you're not caught up yet, but in the anime when Zoro uses the attacks with Enma, there's like little still images and little flashes of Odin like smiling and wielding the two swords. And there's that
Oh,
scene where Zoro runs up and Big Mom's like, "Kaido, watch out!" And it literally shows Odin like, "Ah ah ah." And I'm like, "That's my boy. That's my... Oh, like yeah, but like Luffy learning how to use hockey instead of like just relying solely on his devil fruit, I feel like it's gonna like pivot a lot for like what the upper echelon of the series really uses it for. Because even Kaido said Roger had the world under the heel of his foot, and he never had a devil fruit. Hockey can transcend all, and I feel like in the land of Wano, for as much devil fruits as we saw on Wano and like with the gift users and everything, I feel like Elbap is going to be the land of hockey and everyone is going to have like accentuated different types of like my armament hockey is specialized in this way so I can use force fields like this. My observation hockey is like this so I can observe things at a microscopic level. Like instead of just future sight or all these other different ways that it can be applied, we're going to get an expansive way that these three types can be used in different ways, shapes, or form.
that would be really cool. Like branching paths.
Yeah.
Maybe
I,
one day we'll get a
I've been
proper
I've
One
been
Piece or
holding
Two
on to
Piece.
that theory. I hope no one's listening.
Heck.
um.
And
So other spoilers. Why do you think Kuma went to Fusha Village?
I can't talk. I have seen the spoilers for the next chapter.
Okay. Well, I just made a TikTok yesterday about this, and I thought it was really cool that uh, Kuma would have already known about uh, Nika being in a devil fruit, and I was like, if we remember back to when Luffy and Rob Lucci had recreated their encounter with the big giant punch. Vegapunk was expositioning on that panel where Luffy had smiled and said, "Devil fruits have come from a will of desire, and that is the joy is sun god, the god of liberation of those who would never lose that hope, the sun god Nika." And then I was like, hold on, Vegapunk didn't say that's Joy Boy or no, but Vegapunk knows that fruit's name. He knows that that's Joy Boy's fruit. He has the name Nika. And then we go back and we're reading 1100. I'm like, holy, oh my gosh, they're all doing the Nika dance. Vegapunk knows that Nika's in a fruit.
Oh
So you see what I'm, yeah,
no, oh, the Nika dance. Oh my god, everyone was doing the Nika dance.
even
What do you think that?
Kizaru,
Yes,
and the
even
pizza, and the
Kizaru.
pizza has been such a big freaking theory of mine too. Like pizza has been an overarching thing since they've come to Egghead, and with like the big giant pizza parties, if you look at how cheese and different topping, like I'm about to start spitting some real crazy theory. But if you look at the different toppings on a pizza, Kizaru is representative of cheese being the light and like yellow of the, and he's supposed to spread and like he's making himself too spread thin. Bonnie is meant to represent ham because she has pink hair, and ham can't be existing really on like big slices, but it can be really small and even smaller like bacon. I don't know what I'm. Pizza theory, man. Pizza piece.
What are you talking about, bro? What?
Listen, the one pizza. Vexyz
The
gets
one
it.
pizza.
Listen, we're getting there. This is real. It's real. Little CC. Little Caesars. She's. I guess before we wait for Lucas to hop in, let's talk about some other anime that you're interested in. Do you remember when we had that JoJo phase?
Had? Oh, you think it left?
I know mine hasn't, but has yours?
No, it's bad. Great Days, the 7th opening, I think. For hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, the 7th opening of JoJo is still on my playlist to this day. Great Days is such a good opening. Oh my god. I don't know why. It gets me.
See, 3-Day gets it too. You need all the ingredients to make a good pizza. Joy Boy needs all his friends to become Pirate King. It's onto something. Friends are the ingredients. Oh my goodness. 3 days spitting about pizza piece here. When the mood hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. Fish
Something
takes you. Oh yeah.
sorry, to go back to One Piece. I maybe people in chat have some idea. They say that when you share sake with someone, it's like it's forging a bond of like brotherhood and whatnot, right? And we've seen that with Ace, Sabo, and Luffy. We've also seen that with
Whitebeard and
uh
Roger.
Whitebeard and Roger and Whitebeard and Shanks. What do you guys? What's up with that?
I think that when you do it like that, it's like you have to exchange from the same cup. But they did not exchange from the same cup. Shanks had brought a bottle of wine from his hometown as a like act of respect, I think. Kind of like
Didn't
when you go to a
Whitebeard have
friend's
that
dinner
giant
party.
saucer?
Maybe. Yeah, he did drink out of the giant saucer. You're right. But I almost
No,
looked at
Shanks
it.
didn't.
I look at it as like they're bringing like a bottle of wine to a friend's dinner party, and they're like, "Yo, we're here." Like it's a conversation starter. It's like, hey, I didn't come out. Like, I think it was his way of saying I'm not out here for nothing. And at least, even if you don't think I'm here for nothing, I leave you with this. Because if I don't
That's a
leave
fair
you with
assessment.
this, we're gonna fight. And if we fight, I mean, this is not the place or time to be doing it. And maybe Whitebeard and Roger did that too. Like when Roger knew what the
Yo,
One Piece wasn't. Oh my goodness! Hold
do you
up!
think Shanks could have taken Whitebeard at that point in time?
Why didn't Roger go out and get Odin?
Explain.
Whitebeard explained his reason. Why didn't Whitebeard tell Roger about what was happening with Odin? Okay, if Whitebeard and Roger were having sake exchanges underneath the sakura blossoms, that would have been after Roger found the One Piece because he had asked Whitebeard if he wanted to find it or what it was all about. And Whitebeard said, nah. Odin went back home. Odin was there. No. They explained it when Shanks was born, so it would have been after Roger's death that Whitebeard found out. Never mind.
Okay.
I was getting mad. I was ready to be all like Roger fraud, but it's not that serious.
It's just Whitebeard. Why didn't Whitebeard help?
Because
What's his
Whitebeard said,
motive?
"Dang dog, if I were to go there and try to fight Kaido in that country, I'd end up leveling the whole freaking island. And I don't think even if I leveled the whole island, it'd be enough to stop Kaido. And I'm not gonna put those civilians through that." And
That's fair.
like, I see where he's coming from. Because I mean, as cool as Whitebeard is, even if Whitebeard were to go all out against Kaido, I think you'd have to go through like 3 or 4 islands to make Kaido like, please stop, please. Like, Luffy put him through 2. He put him through Onigashima, then he put him through Wano. Like, and I still think Kaido's coming back. Like,
That's yeah. Hey man, I didn't see the body.
I saw it too, but
Oh,
I also
oh,
saw
dang.
Big Mom in big freaking text on the screen say, "Don't you little snots think this is enough to take me out?" And I was like, "Okay, Oda, I see you. You wrote that for us." You
Do we
wrote.
have a confirmation on what happened to Roger's body after the execution? Or do you think it can be stuffed with a shadow and brought back?
I think it. Uh, I think it burned it. I think they didn't want to
Like,
like
get these genes off this planet.
not even like get these genes off this planet. But if Moriya's already a pirate and they know the Kage Kage no Mi exists at that point, I would just burn it to be safe. That's just my like point of view. Now, if you were to ask me about rocks, that is a whole other can of worms. Because that is why I think Garp isn't dead. Is I think Garp was frozen so that they could preserve his body without letting it touch sunlight, so that they can shove his shadow into the corpse of Rox D. Zebek, so that you have the powerhouse of Garp within the old body of the dude who used to like fuck Roger up.
What is this? Is this a real theory?
Yeah, I
Is there
think that
validity to
because
this?
I think Hogback is on the island, like right now, keeping the corpse of Rox alive underneath the old pirate island. And I think Blackbeard has been like using Hogback in that way. Because, I mean, if anyone is going to see useless pieces on a board and say, Zay, ha ha ha, I'm going to make something out of this, give me 5 years, it's Blackbeard. And we don't know what happened to Hogback after Thriller Bark, only that, like, Absalom and all of them got split up. And we saw Absalom go back to Pirate Island. And, like, Moria went out there to go look for him. And then we saw the chapter later on where Kobe was freeing them, and Kobe said, I have to go free Moria for Perona. I think Moria is going to shove Garp's shadow reluctantly into the old corpse of Rox D. Zebek and bring back to life in a way or shape or form the old like spirit of Zebek.
But if Roger's body is too dangerous to be kept around, why would they keep his?
What if they thought it never existed in the first place? Like God Valley. What up, Typhool? W chat. Chat's been really popping off today. We love that. You know what else we would love? We would love to see our helmsman of the last arc make it safe. I saw Lucas in chat say he's putting the babies to bed, so. But yeah, my big theory is that Garp is going to be used to revive Rox in some way, shape, or form. Whoa, Tori Mori? We love that guy. He's in vexyz's group, and he's a goat.
It's a very interesting theory.
I have a lot of interesting theories. Like, I think Crocodile is Luffy's mom. I think Buggy is a part of Red Nose tribe of people that haven't been explored in One Piece and that are going to be pivotal to the
Hold
end
up.
of it.
So I've been catching up on One Piece in the anime, right? In Impel Down, there's some guy has the same nose as Buggy, but it's not painted red. But he's got a big bulbous like clown nose. Just further that along
I'm dead.
a
Yo.
little. I talked
No,
to Cube about it.
I think Blackbeard and Kuma are both Buccaneers. I guess I used to say of the same race before I knew what a Buccaneer was, but like that theory was a shot in the dark. And now I'm like,
Uh, how do you? Hmm. I wish we had more information. Is it confirmed that the previous, or that the owner of the frozen straw hat was a giant, or could it have been a buccaneer?
Um, that's a good question. I think it would have had to been a giant, and I think that buccaneers are of the descendants of race of giants. I enjoy boy,
Yeah.
but man, the hat's too big. Like Kuma's a buccaneer or half buccaneer. Kuma's dad was the buccaneer. Um, I think Kuma's dad was big enough to wear the hat. I just like that's just like my thing. I think like
I think Rocks
Saul.
was a buccaneer.
God, maybe that's why he didn't show his face. Why do you think Oda's holding out on us for that?
They saw the government saw Rocks and was like, that whole race gotta go. God,
I don't have a lot of theories on rocks because it's like
there's so
until I
little to go
see.
off of. Yeah,
Yeah, but like I think I had this giant theory earlier about it about the way that Sengoku and Akainu were talking to each other when they were doing the bounty reveals of the Yonko. And Sengoku said something really, really weird to Akainu. He said they're all gathering at that place in the land of Wano. I wonder why that is.
they. Who is he referring to for they?
Like is like strong powers. Like he says, like strong powers keep gathering into the land of Wano. I wonder why that is. And
Do you think it's like JoJo stand users and like Devil Fruit users or like hockey users, like big or Will of D carriers are just drawn to each other?
not even Will of D necessarily, but I think it's Luffy's fruit as Sun God Nika, and I think only those who held the position of Fleet Admiral know of it. And that's why Sengoku worded it in such a way in front of Sakazuki. He's like, yeah, no, we got to revere these legends for what they are because new ones are coming, and people keep gathering in the land of Wano, or strong guys keep going to Wano. Wonder why that is. Like, it's just what a. It's like that Akainu panel where he's like, "Let them handle it. The Holy Knights are gonna intervene," and I was like, "There's this one. That's that one panel of Sengoku walking away from Akainu. Like, it almost feels like he's like jabbing him. I mean, I don't know. What do you think about the admirals so far? Who has been your favorite to watch? Who's your favorite admiral?
I think it's got to be Kizaru, the Adam Sandler looking guy. There's something about him, and like maybe it's because it's recency bias, but there's a lot going on with him. And
What about Fujitora, man? Come on.
oh no, you right. I'm
Or
sleeping on him.
or my boy, whoa, you got big bazongas. How you gonna also, if you didn't know, Aokiji's voice actor in the Japanese dub of One Piece is Ho Makate Kuru ka?
Is it
It's
Dio?
Dio. It is.
Oh
You get to hear
dang.
Dio go, Ice time. Ice age. So good. It's also the voice of Toji Fushiguro from Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay, I
Toji?
know that name.
Toji. You know Toji.
Oh
Toji, the
man.
guy who walks around like it's heavy.
Bro, I don't you can't be saying that.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? I didn't say
Oh
anything.
man.
Do you think if Big Mom and Kaido were
Brother. Anyways, you tried bringing up JoJo earlier. Let's talk about JoJo. What's your favorite part?
my favorite part? Well, you tell me your favorite part, and I'll answer your question because you're the
My
guest here.
favorite part and the part that I think is the best definitive experience of JoJo are two different things. I love part 2. That is my favorite. Part 4 I think is the most well written.
My favorite part does not contain my favorite JoJo. I know it throws a lot of people off, but I love part 7. Part 7 is my favorite part of JoJo's ever. I love the references. I love the callbacks to everything else about JoJo's. I love that JoJo's can reference JoJo's referencing JoJo's, and it all makes sense to me. And I think it's like looking at two rocks. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Like,
That was oh my god. I'm
but
a part 3 hater. I'll say that. That might be one of my hottest takes is I dislike part 3. Like it's
vexyz is
not that
with you. I'm not. I love
oh
part
really?
3.
It's not that I'm like towards it. I actively dislike part 3. Anime specifically. To my understanding, the manga is better than the anime.
I don't think so. I think they're both. I
Really?
think the anime does a really good job of doing the adaptation, but it is very villain of the week, going through fighting different stand users every
Yeah.
chapter to get to Egypt. And the part that I like about that everyone seems to forget, is that JoJo's is very old. And so when it uses that formula, I hate to
Oh
say
god.
it made that formula.
I don't know. I Power Rangers, man. I don't know. Like
Nah. The way it was an
uh
overarching story, and then once they got to Egypt, the way the switch flipped, where Dio was like, "Oh, I guess we gotta start sending real stand users at him." Like Endul had me terrified.
no,
That
hear me out. Hear me out. Everything you're saying that you enjoy about part 3, they did better in part 4.
dude,
You
no, no,
have
no,
like
no, no, no,
slice
no.
of life to learn and love these
I
characters,
hate slice of
and
life anime. That's my
and
problem.
then we jump into like villain of the week, but it's not just villain of the week. It's also a murder mystery. And like we don't know the end. And I feel like not knowing the end game makes it so much more interesting than part 3. And it's like I don't know.
I
I
think the
don't know, man.
formula was perfected in part 5. I don't like the way they did villain of the week, overarching to building different characters' backstories, all to coalesce towards like an overarching loss and a whole new story to be told at the midway point, with a whole new goal, and like the character motivations, and like Fugo stepping off was like a decision I did not see happening ever, and like Araki standing firm in it is like, whoa, for a 2000s manga. It's weird to talk about JoJo's Part 5 as a 2000s manga. But like people didn't do that. If you like everyone
No, I
everyone in their right mind, like going to like Wayback Machine and like trying to find old forums and shit, like Fugo's gonna get back. Fugo's gonna come back at the end of the fight. It's gonna be his purple hazes. No, it's
I
done.
don't remember who I was talking to about it, but I was kind of sucking off JoJo a little bit, talking about how like part 5 isn't like Deus Ex. It's not like, oh, well now we just have this happening at the end. Like the setup of part 3 of like, okay, now there's stands to like also introducing the arrow, and then part 2 showing that stands can evolve and that the arrow can give people new powers, and then part 5 showing like the arrow has a will of its own, and like everything led up to Giorno. And I feel the need to defend that on stream a little because a lot of people hate that, but it was not a Deus Ex Machina if you actually paid attention.
Giorno is my favorite JoJo, and a lot of people are like, "That's such a hot take, Cody," because you have people like Joseph or Jonathan or Jodor or like all these other big wacky characters. What makes you like Giorno the most? Like the little twink boy. And I was like, dog, Giorno is the two extremes coalesced in one character of the best of the series, Jonathan, and the worst in the series, Dio. And when you reread the series and looking at the actions and the way that he expositions himself and the life that he had to grow up with, and still seeing those like qualities like pull through, Giorno's my favorite to read. Every time I'm reading through, it's like this is how Jonathan would react, but this is to the extent that Dio would take that, like retaliate. Like it it's good. It's good. It's good. If you haven't read JoJo's and looked at it through that light, I think Giorno is a much more fascinating character.
I like Joseph because random bullshit go.
Tommy gun.
Yeah, just
I get that.
Joseph makes my brain go burr.
He
Part
is
3
the only
Joseph
he's
makes my brain go burr less.
he's
And
one of
part 4 Joseph makes me sad.
he's one of 3 American JoJos. That's a weird statement to make, but it's facts.
It's like, this is
There's Joseph,
where's the anime at right now?
part 6.
They at the end of part 6?
It's already done. Part 6 ended.
Okay.
This is why I keep telling you to binge it. Because, man, at the end of... No. Like, the anime ending at part 6, like, ending the Joestar saga. Spoilers, I guess, but, like...
No,
like,
I know they reset.
Oh my god, the ending they pulled out for it, the way they end it, you're gonna cry. And I just want your reaction to it, because it's so good. When Giorno said Muda, 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 I felt it was when he said that I felt that because it is because like that was when he fought Green Day, and it was to the extent of seeing like this one masochistic dude killing people just because he thought it was funny. And so like Giorno using the pure-hearted side of Jonathan like in him, like being like, yo dude, you've got to stop, and like talking through and realizing him with that good boy, and I'm like, you can be redeemed. We can figure this out together. I won't attack you. Just get up here. And as soon as he gets up there, he turns on him and because Jonathan would never accept a villain like that. Evil in your heart, you're a bad guy. But would Jonathan beat him to death and put him in a trash compactor for 7 minutes straight for like a minute-long Muda? 7-page Muda? No. Jonathan would not. Jonathan would probably beat you up and be like, that's bad. Dio, however, would beat you up with his fist too, and then throw you in a trash compactor and then call you trash. That's the dichotomy of Giorno, and that's why I love him so much. It's so good. So good.
Shout out to Joseph for being the only one to survive through every arc pre-reset.
Oh.
Or wait, Josuke, I think also.
Man, it would have been so cool if Giorno and Josuke pulled up, healed Jotaro. But like, I found him, Mr. Jotaro. And it's like, ah.
Oh man, what does Jotaro say to Josuke in part 4?
He says to Koichi like a really reliable guy, but I have this like headcanon that like
you can't heal like
dead people.
Yeah.
Nah, like
part 3 Jotaro.
I see like Jotaro getting cut at the end or whatever, and then like my fan headcanon is like Josuke and Giorno pop up at the last time because Koichi was looking for Giorno, and Josuke heals Jotaro, and Pucci's like, you remind me so much of him, and Giorno's like, my dad? No, my dad would never hurt pieces of shit like you. I'm worse. And then kills him. Just fucking, like, requiem. Korewa, get rid of him. He deserves so much worse. Why is he the only... Oh, I don't want to spoil part 6 for you, but man, fuck Pucci. All my homies hate Pucci. I sorry for dropping the F-bomb an hour into stream chat, but, like, gotta say it. This Pucci guy... Not about it. He made my tummy hurt. He made me almost throw up. That's not...
My exposure to JoJo past part 5 only comes from the video game, Eyes of Heaven.
You're doing such a disservice to yourself. Part 6 is so good.
I know. I just gotta sit down. Part 8's finally done, and they started part 9, and then I feel like people stopped talking about JoJo. What's going on with part 9? Weird.
They got rid of stands.
Why would they do that?
It's how do I explain it? It's a Rocky. He can do whatever he wants, and it's kind of good. They got rid of stands, and they called them some. They're stands, but not stands. Right? Araki's like, I forgot this, but then until I found that one channel called, until it's like debunking Araki forgots, and it's like these like 10-hour videos of this guy going through a Rocky Forgot's Reddit and debunking everything, and I'm like, I think it's like Hamon Beat or something. Hamon Beat. But yeah, he spends like hours on hours just like making sure that like no, Rocky didn't forget. What up, John? Shout out to JJ in chat. We love that. So many goats out here in chat looking for this interview. Tree, what would you say your favorite anime of all time is? Letting the chat know. I already know the answer.
Gurren Lagann. Yeah, you do. Gurren Lagann, man. It's more than just an anime. It's like, I guess I struggle. Holy
Oh, he's
heck!
here. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. We gotta get this intro out of the way. Where is he? Where is he at? There's no camera. There's no mic.
Straw Hat forgot. We'll get there. Come on, buddy. There he is. I cannot hear him.
This
There he
microphone
goes.
never existed.
Maybe this is better.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, we're finally joined by the host of the Coo Interview, helmsman of the last arc, Straw Hat Lucas. Welcome, brother. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good, brother. Sorry I'm so late. Had to get the kids to bed, and the daughter was not feeling it, so took a little bit longer than usual. How are y'all doing tonight? DQ, how we doing? Mr. Tree the Wolf?
Excellent. Having a fantastic time.
Good, good, good. I've not had a chance to catch much of the stream. Like I said, I was preoccupied, but I am here now. All Might style.
All Might.
Young Midoriya.
I've been trying to interview, but I feel like I'm flopping.
No, you're good, brother.
We're vibing, we're talking, we're having a good time. We were just talking about
favorite anime ever, and he answered why Togen Toppa Gurren Lagann is more than an anime to him. And I think you should pick back up from there while Lucas is here so that he can hear your explanation on why you ride or die this so hard.
Oh, basically, I have diagnosed depression and anxiety and a lot of other things, and Gurren Lagann and its whole message like really stuck out for me as a kid, of like the indomitable human spirit, always having hope, like fight against the odds, like do the impossible, fight the power, and like that really stuck with me growing up. Dare I say it's why I'm still here.
His microphone cut out again. He said 1 second, but he could hear you, so it's just his microphone, so he couldn't respond to you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh my god! Every time your camera cuts out, I have to click back on the Discord freaking windows because Streamlabs won't capture it unless it sees it open, and I'm like, it's open. It's got the yellow bar. Just put his camera up.
As someone who's I have a PTSD and PPD, so I get that. Sometimes it's shows like that can really help you in those mental states and kind of help you get through those bigger moments that are hard to get through by yourself. So that's a lot of respect for you to even admit that on stream.
I try to be very open about it because like we're all people, you know, and it's if someone can hear someone else talk about it and be like, that's normal to talk about, then like
maybe it'll help them, because I always bring up Steven Universe because it literally saved my life, and people are always like, you have kids, how did a cartoon show stop you from doing Sliver Side? But and it's because sometimes it's just that little thing that helps you. It pushes you to that, that point where you're like, okay, I actually do want to be here. I do want to.
Your mic cut out. Your mic cut out. Your mic cut out. Your mic cut out. Your mic cut out.
Oh, he totally just dropped the F word, but we couldn't hear it.
No, and then I got click back on.
I'm so sorry. It does this the first few times right after I jump on a call when I turn my laptop on. I don't know why. But what I was saying is it's great to hear. I love hearing when other people have similar stories like that. For you it was Gurren Lagann. Like I said, for me it was Steven Universe, and to a more extreme stint, One Piece, which is why I chose to do One Piece content creation. it's a beautiful thing. And like you said, once you talk about it and you go out there and you start sharing your story, maybe even if it's only one or two people that hear that same story, but it'll affect them and be like, oh man, I had a similar situation. So I have actually not seen much Gurren Lagann.
Buddy. I think it's still all on Netflix. They misspelled it on Netflix. Fun fact. I really do recommend it. It's Studio Trigger, but it was before they were Trigger. It's Gainax. They did Evangelion. Like, everybody knows them, you know.
That's my favorite anime.
Did they do Lelouch as well?
Lelouch?
Code Geass?
Yeah, Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion, whatever it's called.
I think so. Maybe.
Yeah,
Lelouch?
maybe. Lelouch.
I'll tell you what. We have Google at our fingertips. And I did not even click on Google. Wow.
Oh no! It's Horn Pub.
Anything that keeps you on this planet is a good thing.
Exactly.
Studio Sunrise.
Oh,
Whoever
okay.
they are.
The only piece of media that I think that's like hit me like that was I had gotten out of probably the most serious relationship I had ever been in my life, and it was like a really bad breakup. I was just working at Walmart, and I had been holding off from seeing Dragon Ball Super Broly movie like trailers because I was like, I don't want to see anything for this. I want Dragon Ball to be my thing. We had broken up, and the trailer for Gogeta had dropped, and all of my friends, I think anyone who's a friend with me knows me that like Gogeta's my favorite. That's my boy. I would always play him in Raging Blast 2, Xenoverse, anything. Like, Gogeta's my guy. And Dokkan, I own and rainbowed every single Gogeta card that has dropped in there. He's my boy. So like, I was depressed getting ready to start my shift for the night. And I was like, boys, life is dark and I hate it. The wind hurts my face where I live. What are we doing on this planet? And my boy Kyle was like, Cody, watch this. And he threw the trailer up on his phone. And I was like, Kyle, I don't want to be spoiled. And he's like, no, I know some people in their lives, they need this. And I saw Gogeta pop up, and I screamed so loud that everyone from Duluth to Superior could hear me. And I was like, that's my boy! I ran from one end of the parking lot in Walmart to the other end and back in like less than a minute. It was phenomenal. I remember going to that. I remember buying my ticket that night, and like, that kept me going. Like,
dude, yeah.
I get when when you say stuff like that, I get it.
Yeah, I always say, like Steven Universe saved my life, but One Piece is the reason that I stopped having those ideations entirely. It was literally when Robin said, I want to live, it was like, I also want to live. Like, it's like, oh. Like, it's
When Shinji said, this is my Neon Genesis Evangelion. That's what I was like, this is my favorite anime ever. This is it.
When Gon said, I am the Hunter X Hunter.
Spoiler alert, but in the very, very, very last rebuild movie of Neon Genesis Evangelion, Neon Genesis 3.3 plus 1.1, they actually say the title. Like, at a point in time. I'm done. Okay. It's not a big spoiler. It's just that they say the title. Like, they say actually. Neon Genesis Evangelion. And I'm like... It's like the Family Guy moment. Like, he said the thing.
Yeah.
I kind of want to clarify a little. When, like, Gurren Lagann is kind of like what you said was One Piece for you. Like, I don't want people to think or be out there looking for one thing to have a reason to keep them around. Like, if it's like Domino's and you got to be like, this is it. This is the thing that's keeping me going. And then you get to it and it's there. That, like, look for another thing, man. Like, it doesn't have to be that one thing.
You can like more than one thing. Speaking as the boy who grew up reading all of the big three week to week, I got bullied for just liking manga. I got bullied for just liking anime. If you like that stuff, like what you want to like. No one's going to fault you for it. Like, we're all out here. It's okay to like more than one thing. I love Bleach. I defend Bleach to the day I die.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess for example, Smash Brothers for the 3DS came out on October 3rd, and I will never forget that because that is the date that I kept looking forward to. That kept me going, like,
Yep.
and then it came and I was like, shit, I really like this. When like the satisfaction of still being around to be able to experience that, like it's worth it,
Yeah.
Living's worth it.
Living is always
Your mic, your mic, your mic, your mic, your mic.
Lucas, no.
Living is always worth it.
Yeah, it's just it took a very long time for me myself to understand that, and like I wish it didn't take as long for me to get to that point in my life where I'm like, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
Doctor Who actually is another.
Oh,
I don't want to go.
Poor Cody can't escape the Doctor Who talk.
I guess like Neon Genesis is something that's really pulled me out of like having those like kind of depressive episodes and thoughts, and being able to take the feelings that I was experiencing while watching that show in my adult life and taking them to therapy. I guess like going to therapy weekly and being like, hey, when Shinji said this, it really made me think about this moment in my life and like the actions and how I've like hurt people. And it makes me think about like myself in this kind of light, and being able to like put my thoughts to words, and like seeing how the director Hideki Anno was like struggling with his own depression and like thoughts like that. And like when you think it's just one dude creating the story and characters and all of this other dialogue and how they're going to interact with each other, like Evangelion is truly a masterpiece, and not even just in terms of animation, for how well it looks back in 1996. Like the writing, the way the characters interact with each other, the music, the way the set pieces interconnect with actual biblically accurate like terms and like references. Oops, Lucas cut out again, but that's okay. We miss
We'll
you,
be back.
but yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say keep going.
Yeah, Evangelion like really saved me, and it like really like made me look at myself in a whole new light. And maybe it was also therapy. I can't knock therapy too much, but like it was really cool to have that transformation in my life. We miss Lucas. It was really cool to have him here. Restarting Discord. I love you both. Okay.
Okay. I was gonna say I've held off on speaking Berserk until he showed up.
We'll wait. We can keep waiting. You haven't
Berserk
caught
is
up.
another. I'm caught up.
Oh my
Berserk's
God.
another massive one for me that follows the same themes of like Gurren Lagann, where it's like a struggler, but you survivor, I guess, like hanging on and moving forward, and Attack on Titan, just keep moving forward. Oof. Yeah, it's crazy that the themes that these like silly little shows have, and how much of an impact they can have on people and the community. Like it's incredible. And I think it's cool. What's up? Nope. Nuts.
But what do you think your first anime you started out watching was?
I know. My first anime that I remember like consciously watching was original Dragon Ball at a babysitter's on a computer that was halfway across the room from the bed, and he's like, "Hey, watch this while you go to bed." And then I was like staying up all night watching OG Dragon Ball, and I was like, "This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life."
My mother just informed me, but apparently my first anime was definitely Digimon. It's because
Digimon.
Me and her were talking, reminiscing about the old days about Pokemon and how I got kicked out of a preschool because I kicked some kid in the mouth and made his lip bleed because we were playing Dragon Ball. I guess he wasn't built for that life. You know what I'm saying?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't ready for the spar, bro.
Yeah.
Just to keep up with the theme, I think my first anime actually was Vampire Hunter D. This was because I always say like Pokemon, Dragon Ball, all that, but those like Pokemon and Sailor Moon actually specifically. but those weren't anime to me because the dubs of them, like, let's be real, like the Deke dub of Sailor Moon, that's not like that's terrible. But
very valid point. It might have been Pokemon for me.
yeah, but the one that I first saw and I was like, this isn't just a cartoon, this is different, this is something else, like, was Vampire Hunter D. And I told this story on TikTok before. My buddy was telling me, my brother, about it. He's like, I was on HBO the other night when my parents went to sleep, and I found this movie, and it was called Vampire Hunter D, and it was crazy. And they showed this girl's boobies and all this stuff. Like, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I watched that, and I was like, oh my God. Oh my, what is this? Oh my God. And it blew my little mind. It blew 7-year-old Lucas's mind. And for my 8th birthday, I convinced my parents to get me a copy of Akira because my friend's older brother had it and he wouldn't let us watch it. My parents had no idea what it was, and they bought me Akira, and I watched Akira.
I have not seen it.
Here's how bad the
I know
brain
it's
rot.
crazy.
The brain rot with Digimon was so bad when I was a little kid. I don't think you guys can fathom. But when my mom was talking to me about anime that we watched as a kid, she's like, "Oh yeah, there was Naruto and all of that. But I remember you were really big about Digimon because you had to take that VHS and DVD everywhere." And I remember when Angemon showed up and had to shoot Tai with the Digidet, and I was like, "How do you remember this?" And she's like, "Because War Greymon's your favorite." And I remember you freaking out when War Greymon came out. And then when the Digimon movie 2000 and they went into the computer, and I was like, "You're skipping a bunch, but how do you know this is my favorite thing?" She's like, "I'm your mom. It's kind of my job." And I was like, "Omnimon is pretty cool though, ain't he?" And don't you remember when War Greymon punched it? You remember when War Greymon lost his claw against Infernmon, and he's like, "I don't need a claw to punch you," and he punched him. So good. Like, sorry, I keep going on.
No, you're
Digimon, but like,
No,
it was
you're
really
good, brother.
weird to hear my mom, like, she can't even remember Luffy's name half the time, but she like was like, "Oh yeah, when Tai had to get shot by Angemon so that he could have Agumon Warp Digivolve," and I was like, "How are you?" It's like you're talking to somebody like they're speaking broken English, and then they start reciting the Bible word for you. Like, how are you doing this?
Dude.
You brought up Naruto, and I kind of want to toss it at Lucas. How far have you gotten?
I'm only because I'm watching it on stream. I'm only on episode 5. I'm about to start episode 5. I took a 5-day break off of TikTok because I was getting a little burnt out.
I gotta pee, but I have a wireless headset.
Okay. So they just got split up into teams. And Naruto's team is with Kakashi. They just did the bell challenge. That was the last episode I saw. Was them trying to get the bells, which because I watched up to like the Chunin exams, or because I remember watching the Broccoli Gaara fight, or Rock Lee Gaara fight when it first started. Yeah, when it first came out, and then I watched a little bit past that and just lost interest. If I'm being honest, it was always, and I know Cody hates when I say this, but it was Naruto's voice actor. I couldn't stand his voice when I was a kid. Now, as an adult, it's a lot more tolerable, and I can get into it a little bit more, a little more nuanced, if I'm being honest. And I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm very excited to watch more. I just haven't found a day that I can set aside completely to watch Naruto on stream, because I don't want to skip anything without my audience. Because I ain't gonna lie, it was a very vibey stream. Like
I would definitely be aware of the filler that is in original Naruto.
Oh,
There's 3 seasons of filler at the
yeah.
very end.
I have a whole list of Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, and which episodes to skip, which episodes have partial filler but also partial canon. So like, I'm way ahead of you, brother.
Oh my God, those episodes are like all filler, and then the preview for next episode is what's canon.
Yeah,
I swear to you.
All right, Dylan. What is your favorite filler arc of Naruto?
My gut response was Mecha Naruto. And that is not true, but that was the first thought that came into my mind.
My favorite is the Chikara arc. It's also known as the power arc. I call it Chikara power, but Chikara means power in Japanese, so it kind of sounds redundant to say power, but
I don't know what the arc's called, but the one with the other 9-tailed fox Jinchuriki.
That is also another really good one. I like the power arc because it uses old thrown away animation that they were going to use for a movie. And
I love you 3-Day.
I actually love the Mecha Naruto. Laugh so hard. Actually, fun fact, I played the game before the anime
Ninja
episode
Storm
came
3.
out. Oh my god.
Uh,
Dude, I have nightmares from trying to get S rank on that thing. I was like, please.
So, Tree, I have a question though. In the same vein, I know you've mostly read One Piece, but have you watched much of the anime?
I'm like right before the time skip in the
Okay.
anime, and
Have
I've
you
not
watched-
skipped anything? I've
have
watched
you-
all the filler.
You watched all the filler. So, what's your favorite filler arc so far?
There was a filler arc with Usopp on an island with like firecrackers. That was so good.
So good, dude. Yeah.
That was the first filler arc where I was like, hold up, what are they cooking that Oda didn't? What is this?
Yeah. Yeah, and him with the little girl and like her parents and everything. Oh, it's so good, man. I'm so glad you didn't skip that because I skipped a lot of the One Piece filler and then went back and rewatched it. The only ones I didn't skip on my first watch through were the Warship Island arc with the dragons because like let's face it, that's such a good arc. But G8, no one can skip G8. G8.
Yeah, I gotta bring him up. I gotta bring up the last member of the Straw Hat crew. Condoriano.
No.
Condoriano. No, what are you guys doing? The Straw Hats have taken my outfit. I am the guy. Condoriano. You really think you're gonna fool them with a story like that?
That Zoro was the one that like started it. Like usually it's Usopp that lies, but it was Zoro who was like, "No, he's one of us."
But no. Like Usopp knowing to lie so well to be like, "Do you really think a story like that's gonna fool the Marines? Come on, friend." Like,
Was this the arc with the flag and like stealing the flag? And like we can't sail because you stole our flag, so you stole like what we sailed for.
No, that's the Long Ring Long Land, and that is a canon arc.
Oh my god!
My favorite filler arc of One Piece, though, and I don't think you're there yet, Dylan, but it's Luffy and Law getting the collars on them and having to team up with the Kung Fu Dugon with Hockey.
Yes.
Oh, dog! There's a reason I let Ragnar have a Kung Fu Dugon as a character in my D&D.
Kung Fu Dugong.
We both watched that filler, and I was like, "Yeah, Dugons have hockey."
I might have to go back and reread Long Ring Long Land.
Do it. It's got some spice to it, man. Yeah, it's got some spice to it too.
Oh,
like,
boy.
I think that will play a big part in the in-game One Piece,
I'm
like
talking
foreshadowing
about a filler
wise.
arc, though, for sure. I'm talking about a filler arc.
Yeah, but he thought it was filler in the anime.
Long Line is canon. Are you for real right now?
I know. I was like, I don't remember that in the manga. Like,
I keep forgetting people like when I was reading One Piece, man. I was just reading it. I was like, dog, I've got to get there. I don't have Naruto and Bleach this week.
I was like, I binged through all of it up until the time skip in maybe like a month and a half. So like, it's really shaky. And then I felt burnout. And then I waited like a year. And then I went back and I kept reading.
Yeah. So what got you?
I took my time after the time skip, so it's a lot less blurry. But it's like still near the beginning. I don't know.
I don't know if this was asked already before I got here, but what got you into One Piece?
It was Cody. It was before he moved away. He's like, "Bro, you got to check this shit out." And I was like, "All right." And then one day I picked it up, and I didn't put it back down.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I had a feeling it was Cody. He can be very persuasive when it comes to manga.
Very persuasive.
Like I was not planning on reading. Yeah, I was saying I was not planning on reading JJK until like it wrapped up completely, so I could like read it from start to end in one go. And then he's like, "No, you got to read it. You got to get it. You got to read it." And now I'm 60+ chapters in.
You should ask Dylan about how many people I got to start JoJo's as their first anime, because like when I would first meet them, I'd be like, "Oh, you're approaching me. Like I am." Like I would only talk in JoJo.
Brain rot was
I was
terrible.
only talking in JoJo references, and if anyone wanted to have a conversation with me, I would force them to like at least watch a part of it so they could have so they could understand. Because I would just keep referencing it, and they'd be like, "Can you stop making references I don't understand?" And be like, "You could just as easily understand them if you'd watch 6 episodes on Netflix." But
dude,
that's on you.
Starting an anime journey, like your first anime as JoJo's. That's
Yeah,
that's an
I
anime
ruined-
watcher's anime.
I
Yeah,
ruined-
like that's a manga reader's manga. Like that's the.
I've ruined some people. I don't mind admitting it, but I mean,
see. What are
also
your,
like,
You go
dog.
ahead.
When I was in the middle of working at a Walmart in an apron, doing like advertisements, like "Come buy my bread," like, oh,
Oh. He threw that headset down fast. I thought something was wrong with how fast you whipped that off your head. Dude.
Oh no, I was ready to stand against Cody. Yeah,
Oh, man.
if I got that
No.
low, my knees would snap.
I used to impress people at the bar. I'd be like, "Watch this pose," and I'd get my shoulders to touch the ground and come back up. And they'd be like,
Oh my
how
God.
do you do that? And I was like, "I like this anime called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure." Oh, are you approaching me? And they'd be like, "What?" And I'd be like, "Sorry, gotta go sing karaoke." And then I'd run away.
Brain rot was the
vexyz, I love you so much, brother. Yes, the mental health talk is always peak. It's always good to be able to express yourself in a healthy environment. Yeah, I usually don't talk about what got me into One Piece because it's sad as fuck, but it is what it is. Yeah, man, I always love though asking people that question because it's always different. It's never just like, except for with Cody. Cody's the only person I know that was like, I just picked up a chapter one day and got hooked. Like everyone else, it's always, oh, someone that was close to me got me really into it, or you know what I mean? Or I watched the 4Kids dub as a kid and wrote it off, and then years later saw the Funimation dub and it blew my mind. Or
Don't downplay it like that. Like, I got to experience the Big Three weekly. I saw Bleach,
that's
Naruto,
insane, man.
and I saw this other thing on the horizon, and I said, okay, time to, like, downplaying me coming into One Piece. Oh, this is something random. Nah, dog.
No,
I knew
I
what
know,
was
brother.
getting into.
Like,
I still
get
joined late. Like,
Mine
I
was
get it.
not as happy as I'm making it out to be. Like, Cody had moved across the states, and then we had a falling out. And then I started reading it because it was something that he enjoyed, and I was like,
Missing
I miss
him.
Cody. Yeah. So I get it.
Oh, I feel that.
Luckily, we've rekindled our friendship and we're A-okay, but like it was not great for a while.
Yeah. No, I got into One Piece because my closest friend in the world, he was my brother. Like I always say he's my brother because he's my brother. He died. Suddenly too, like abruptly. And he had told me for months and months, he's like, watch One Piece. And I had a horrible taste in my mouth with One Piece because I watched the 4Kids dub when I was a child. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to watch some stupid show about pirates with over 1,000 episodes. Like, I'm not going to do it. And then after he passed, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it and I'm going to catch up. I'm going to watch it all for him. And I think it was exactly what I needed then. Because just like you know, it makes you feel closer to that person. And it's whew. It's a weird feeling too, because like he passed away right when about chapter 10, 15, 10, 16 came out. So like he didn't even get to see Gear 5 or anything like that. So like experiencing all this, and my wife could tell you, like after I read each chapter, I always take a minute to say out loud what happened in the chapter, just so that if he's out there somewhere, he can understand like what's still going on in the story. So it's, yeah, I don't want to talk about this no more, but
you're good.
No, yeah, it's
you sharing what you have. Like
yeah, it's hard to talk about. And Cody and me decided we're gonna do it on a Chad Rolls episode one day, but it's yeah.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
It's, being a part of like the Smash Brothers community, and like when Etika had if you know the name,
Yeah.
when Etika decided to stop living of his choice, the community was like up in shambles, and like even like past that, seeing like new characters being revealed, and like he would have loved this, you know.
Yeah, and that's the hardest thing too, man.
I remember the day Naruto ended, and I remember closing my computer and staring at a black screen for a solid minute. I went out to my car. I told my dad, rest in peace. I just sat in my car. I told him everything that he had questions about before we had finished the series. And my mom, sorry, I'm coughing, bing bong.
No, you're good.
But my mom had always told me when I wanted my first tattoo, she wanted me to let her know so she could pay for it because she just wanted to be a part of my life in that way, shape, or form, and she wanted to make
Yeah.
sure it was a decision that I wanted to like solidify in my mind. So when I came to her and I said I wanted to get the Leaf Village crest on my arm, because me and my dad had always joked about getting it done on our heads so that we'd always be Leaf Village Shinobi. It was a really cool way to immortalize that. And I mean,
Mhm.
whenever I reread Naruto, I always have these moments. Or even rereading Dragon Ball. Like, I remember my dad coming up to me and calling me up on the phone, actually. And he was like, I was watching Dragon Ball and I see Vegeta like talking about Goku holding back his strength, and it made me think of you like holding back against me in Mortal Kombat, and I'm gonna beat you next time. I'm telling you. And I'm like, maybe you say, old man. Like, it was, but like now going back and seeing Vegeta talk like that, it's like, damn. I really like. You don't know what you got till it's gone, but I really like that media can impact you in that way and can keep you close to
Oh
those
yeah,
people in your life. Like, it's a very
it's
special
just
thing.
it's just like Herrick says, man. When does a man die? When he gets shot? When he drinks a deadly concoction of mushrooms? No, it's when he's forgotten. And that's oh,
Who are you
that's why I love
guys?
One Piece, man. Yeah, you guys. Oh,
Who are you guys? Who am I?
you know, who am I? Who am I? I'm the illustrable, the indestructible Mushu. No, nobody. Mulan.
That guy from Kingdom Hearts? Yeah.
Yeah, that guy from Kingdom Hearts.
The guy that was removed in the live action.
Yeah. Ooh, dude, I made it like 5 minutes in that movie, and when they didn't do any of the songs, I was like,
Let's get down to business. To
Talking about,
defeat.
the Huns. Oh, sorry, Q.
talking about like things like back to like Gurren Lagann. I
Mhm.
briefly brought it up again while you were having mic issues, but I brought up Berserk is another like fantastic message in the story of like
Mhm.
struggling and continuing to like carry on regardless of everything and like holding out for hope.
Yeah.
Like Gurren Lagann is like creating your own hope and go go out and do it. And Berserk is a very different message of if you don't have the energy to go out and do it, just live and maybe eventually it'll happen.
Yeah.
And like it's I think if you like Berserk enough to get a tattoo, you'd probably really like Gurren Lagann. But
Yeah, I definitely need to revisit it because I remember when it was coming out on Toonami and Adult Swim and stuff, and I caught a few episodes here and there, but I was never like tuned in enough to catch it week to week, so I just didn't. So I definitely need to go back and revisit it.
the two movies, which there's a time skip in Gurren Lagann, about halfway through, a
Mhm.
little over halfway through. And the first movie is pre-time skip, the second movie is post. And they're finally getting English dubs next year, which is cool. But it's like 27 episodes. It's not that bad. It's it's not 1,000 plus One Piece. And the story's done, so it's not like 2 seasons and then more with JJK.
Now, is it a manga as well?
No, it's
No,
anime
anime
original.
only. So OVA.
They did do mangas after the anime had come out,
Okay.
and not all of them are translated to English.
Hmm.
But there's official full story for Japanese manga though.
Okay. Hell yeah.
But
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely dip my toes in.
it's so good. That being said, I wanted to segue into Berserk somehow. I don't know what we'd talk about, but I was waiting to talk about Berserk until you got here.
Lucas isn't even current.
I'm not current. No. I'm
Yeah,
at so I was current up until the Infantasia arc. If that I can't remember if that's exactly what the name is.
Or Mira.
Right before the ship.
Before the ship.
Oh wait, no. Yeah, right before Mira. No.
Cause no, the boats and hose arc was before they reached the island,
Yeah. Okay, so like right after they reach the island.
and then they reached the island, and were things happy or sad when you stopped reading?
Midway, I'd say. um.
Then you probably stopped right before Mira.
Yeah.
Do you need a dwarf?
No. No.
It's before me.
So this I stopped in 2014. Would have been the last time I was reading.
That means nothing. We've had like 7 chapters since then.
No, I know. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I was almost like chapter 260 something. I want to say something around there, maybe even a little bit before that. And then I stopped because I didn't want to catch up because I knew how long the wait for chapters were. And then I was like, yeah. Then I just lost track of it over time. And then last year I was like, I need to catch back up on Berserk. I need to finish it. And it is, yeah. I'm right now. They just got the charms from the little witch girl and everything. Like,
Are you restarted?
yeah, I restarted. I'm on chapter. I'll tell you right now what chapter I'm on. Actually, no, I won't because if I pull up Chrome, or if I pull up Firefox, I'm afraid that my computer will stop my mic from working. But I'm on like chapter like 205, 208, somewhere around there. So I'm not too far off from being caught up again. But yeah, it's reading through the Eclipse twice in my life is enough. I don't need to read that again.
Shout out to Amazon. They're selling like all of the deluxes for like $20+ cheaper than normal right now.
Yeah, I saw that actually. One of my mutuals on TikTok just bought like 4 of them, and I was like, oh.
The only ones I don't have are 12, 13, 14. I'm 3 behind. And I don't think there's going to be more than 14. 14 covers the last of Miura's original work.
Yeah.
And then the Berserk guidebook.
Yeah. Because Miura, he died in what, 2020, 2021?
I think 2021.
Mhm.
Maybe 2020. Oh my god.
It was right after he passed that I decided I needed to catch up and see like what he had done with his life's work. You know what I mean? Like, and I know his friend has taken over it. And from what Cody said, they've done very good at trying to keep his art style faithful, and they've done really well with what. Because his friend is, if I recall correctly, Cody, he's only doing what he remembers, right?
You know, yes, he's not filling anything in. Sorry to answer for Cody. It's really, really messed up when you think about it, because Mira's best friend that he told the story to is who Griffith is based off of.
Oh my god.
That was his Griffith in high school. And like it's so crazy that the real life Griffith is finishing the story. It's got me like genuinely hecked up.
Is he that pretty? Like
no, he was jealous because his best friend was also author to manga, and he was jealous of how he was writing and how well he was doing, and like that jealousy of like always looking up to him was he is guts looking up to Griffith.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't think the similarities go past that, but
I'd hope not. Like I deeply hope not.
But that is the origin story of why Griffith is that way.
Yeah. Oh wow. I couldn't imagine being that guy's best friend. Oh yeah, I wrote a character inspired by you in my manga.
They also.
What did you make him do to the female lead? Like, oh, okay.
There was definitely a lot of like raw emotion from Miura, presumably, to write like that.
Yeah.
Character based on your bestie, like oof.
So I have a question. Do you guys think a Berserk live action in the style of like Game of Thrones or something would work?
If every time Guts touches the sword, does it go cling, clang, clang, clang?
Yes.
No.
No.
Was it 2015 or 2016 anime? Be whack. Yeah, I think it would be kind of cool. They'd have to get someone absolutely. I don't know. It depends. Like, I would want 2 separate castings for Guts. I would want a casting where he is big macho man, the black swordsman, you know.
Yeah.
And then I would want pre-black swordsman casting.
Pre-eclipse guts and then post-eclipse guts.
Yeah,
Yeah. What do you think,
otherwise,
Cody?
we'd have to wait a while for that guy to bulk up, you know.
Yes.
No.
He just said no.
We're done with adaptations.
Now, the One Piece one was good, and I won't lie, the Yu Yu Hakusho one, man, I'm cautiously optimistic with it. Like, I don't know.
I think the One Piece live action is like the definitive way to experience the first saga. Dare I say?
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Cody?
I don't think I would be okay with a faithful adaptation of a live action variety for Berserk until we have a faithful, good adaptation. Dare I say it, great animation for Berserk.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Because everyone goes on and on about the 1998 Berserk, and it's good. Like it's a good
97.
adaptation. 97, my bad. And it's decent, but they cut out Puck, which I hate. But then the 2016 one, I couldn't even make it past an episode, man. Like I couldn't even make it through an episode of it.
The 97 anime starts at the beginning, so like Puck's not in it until later on.
No, he's in the beginning. He meets Guts in the bar when
Well, I
he
guess
cuts that guy in half.
I'm referring to like the 97 anime goes through the Golden Age.
Oh, yeah. You're right. You're right.
I guess I hadn't really noticed too much.
I like the 97's depiction of the Bonfire of Dreams.
Yes.
That episode is fantastic. Guts' speech. It gave us Guts' themes. You right now? Hey, yo.
After hearing you sing Guts theme, hell yeah.
Let's go.
Who's everyone's favorite character in Berserk? We'll start with Tree. 3, 2, 1.
Judo.
Lucas. 3, 2, 1.
I'm a basic white boy. Guts, man. I fucking love it. Actually, wait, no.
Was off the table.
Casca.
Understandable.
Casca. Yeah, definitely Casca.
Minus Pippin.
Pippin. I was gonna say Pippin, man. I was this close to saying Pippin, but I was like, no.
I wish one day I'll have to get Ken on here to retell the experience of watching me read through Berserk at the breakneck pace I did. Cause me screaming, "Not my boy!" I wasn't like
during the eclipse.
No, during the eclipse, I remember Guts was running up and he sees Pippin standing at the top of the mountain and he's like, "It's okay." And I'm like, I knew if anyone was gonna make it through, it's my fucking boy, my pillar. And then Mira shows up from the back and I was like, why? Why my boy? He didn't do nothing. And Ken in the Discord call was like, and he's gonna continue to do nothing.
Yeah. No.
My experience with Berserk is kind of crazy. I made a friend online and we played video games for years, and I convinced him to move to where I live now. So I drove halfway across the United States to pick him up with a couple of my buddies, and he lived in South Carolina at the time. Oddly enough, Dylan, South Carolina, which is my name, but halfway across the states, and we on the way there, it was a month before Miura passed away, was when I started reading Berserk. And like it's so wild because I went with my brother and another Cody. Actually, we got 3 Codys in my life. I'm blessed. And one was caught up, and my brother was just past the eclipse in the Moonlight Butterfly arc, whatever that arc's called, the children, the Lost Children or something.
Yeah, Lost Children, I think. Yeah.
And the entire time they were talking about like, Griffith did nothing wrong, and I was like, what are you guys talking about? Like, what is this? So in the like 18-hour car ride, I sat and read Berserk.
See, I knew the meme of Griffith did nothing wrong, but I only knew it as this is how Ken got me to read Berserk. Was we were chatting, playing. I think we were playing. I don't remember what we were playing, but I remember we were playing a game, and I was like, "Haha, Griffith did nothing wrong." And he's like, "Cody, you keep telling me you've never read Berserk. I thought you didn't know what Griffith did." And I was like, "Yeah, he just did the R word. It's whatever." He's like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's like it's not that. It's like it's something, but I mean, like I think other anime characters have done worse." And Ken was like, "I've got him. I've got him, boys. Cody, stream your screen. Read this."
I
And
think I think the worst thing Griffith did was when Guts got held down by the demons, and then Griffith deleted every Pokemon in his Pokemon PC. No, I'm sorry, Cody. Go on, please. I had to get that joke out.
My brother and Cody told me to skip the start and start at the beginning of the Golden Age. So
That's
I
criminal.
had no idea what was coming. I didn't know that Guts was going to be missing an arm and an eye. I read it like, this isn't that bad. And then everything got worse.
Bro, when I first started reading Berserk, it was in 2009 or 10. And I was reading them. I remember this because I was using my old like Windows XP computer to download things off the internet and then put them onto my fucking computer that didn't have access to the internet. Oh my goodness. I remember being like 17, 16 years old in my room reading the Eclipse and just fucking sobbing, and my older brother coming in to Schmerkstrom Schmeed with me, and he just looks over and he's like, "Why are you crying?" And I'm like, "Griffith fucking violated Casca."
I remember reading that scene, and I remember like freaking Ken cackling. He's like, "Did he do something wrong?" And I was like, "No, he didn't do anything. He did everything wrong. He's done I hate this man's." And then like I remember breaking it down, and I was like, "Dog, it's like twice as bad because he's not even doing it for pleasure. He's literally just doing it to hurt Guts. That's why he never breaks eye contact with Guts. He's not even looking at her or anything. He's literally like, it's so messed up. I hate him.
Yeah.
I hate him.
It's not about hurting Casca at all. Casca is just an object in that moment. It's about breaking Guts like he was broken. That's exactly what it's about. And it's the levels in that writing itself, man, is...
Can we talk about where everyone was branded? Like Guts being branded on the neck because he constantly stuck his neck out for Griffith. Casca being branded on her heart. Judo being branded on his hands. Like everywhere that the Band of the Hawk was branded was relevant to how they were used by Griffith.
Griffith, yeah.
That's really cool.
Good old Brandy.
Yeah, man, there's so much about like there was a lot of emotion because I'd like grown to love these characters, and like I got through it in a day. I remember getting like waking up and like not sleeping throughout that night, going through the Golden Age, and I remember being like, "Oh man, they saved Griffith. This is it. It's all gonna be good from here on." Like maybe the Hawk gets to like Ken just cackling in the background, like being like, "Cody, you're so close. I can't go to sleep."
Dude, that shot of fragile Griffith in the river with the behemoth in his hand,
Behelit,
and just like Behelit, thank you, just cackling, like it's like he can't make actual sounds, and he's just like, "Ah!" It's like, oh my god.
Griffith or Hisoka, I can answer that. Cube as a fan of both of these series, and I've started catching up back on the Hunter x Hunter. I'm almost caught up. Shout out, but Griffith, it's not even a question.
Yeah,
Griffith.
Griffith is a monster.
I can't believe you're like, if anyone's gonna survive, it's Pippin. I'm like, Judo's with Casca. Like, homie he's in the clear.
Ken didn't correct me on Judo's gender until he died. And so I thought it was just like they were girlfriends. And I was like, yo, maybe they're into Guts. And maybe they're just like setting up. No. And what?
Then you're like, oh, Judo's a man. No.
Yeah.
I think Judo predates Link and is the inspiration for Link. I think.
Really?
I think so.
I like, I also shout out to my boy. I know a lot of people, I hate to say post time skip Berserk, but Serpico, like shout out to my boy. Oh, like with that fairy
It's one way or
sword
the other.
and that elves, that cloak. My boy's drippy. He's got the Brock thing going on where he never opens his eyes except when he's like pressed. Him fighting the what is the water unicorn thing called? You ride it in God of War.
It starts with an N, I believe, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Okay, no, it was the other way. Judo is based off of Link.
that's sick.
Okay, what were you saying? What starts with an N?
What was the thing
The
Serpico fight?
spirit, the horse spirit that drags children into the water.
Horse spirit drags people in water.
You ride it in God of War.
Kelpie.
Kelpie. Yeah, it is Kelpie.
Yeah,
Serpico
Kelpie,
fighting the
that's it.
Kelpie, like that was really cool. I just was like spitting about Serpico and how much I liked them. Speaking of blonde-haired characters.
We're just
Who's the guy? I can never remember his name. That rolls around with fairness. Her like loyal
Serpico.
servant.
Serpico.
That is Serpico. Okay, that's what I thought you were talking about, and I wanted to make sure because I can never remember his name.
Do you guys
I've read through
see
Berserk
anyone-
twice, and I still haven't remembered it.
Do you guys
Sorry.
see any more major character deaths in the series?
Yes. Griffith. Fucking better. Also, have you guys watched the ghost stories?
Yes.
Whenever I hear Serpico's name, I think of they're like something drop dead Serpico. They say Serpico in that, and it makes me think of it every time. I wish I could remember the quote correctly.
Oh no, Vex was right. Knuckleavi. That's also the name of the water horse.
You think if Guts didn't hear Griffith's view of a friend and didn't leave Band of the Hawks with Griffith, and the eclipse still have happened?
Yes, 100%. Griffith did not care what
No.
he had to do to gain power. He would do it.
I disagree. The fact that Guts left is what made Griffith go. Like Griffith says in his head, like, you are the reason I forgot my dream. So if Guts never left, he never would have remembered his dream. Also, take into consideration, Griffith never would have went after the princess if Guts had left for coping. So Griffith never would have been imprisoned.
Yeah, because
I don't think
I see your point, but I'm also of the standpoint that Griffith was a victim of his own hubris. He thought he was untouchable, and that's why he went over after the princess, because he thought that the sooner I get her in my hand, the sooner this kingdom will be mine. And instead of just waiting and doing things officially and getting her hand in marriage, he went and defiled her, as the king says.
Not that
and
he's any better.
Yeah, not that he's fucking any better. Oh my god. It's not as bad as the horse, in fairness, though. Like that's like Cody shared that image in the last lounge chat the other day, and I was like, "What?"
Oh, dang, man, you should play Bloodborne. It's Ludwig is basically the horse.
Oh God.
Really, well, no, hold on. He's really cool. Just
Yeah,
his
and you get to
design
fight
is
and kill the horse, so it's really cool.
His design is based off of it, but
Have
he
there-
has the like great sword. He's really cool.
Have there been any good like Berserk games? I know there was like a Dynasty style, like Dynasty Warrior style one
So,
a
there's
few years
two.
back. There's
There's
two.
the Dynasty Warriors one, and then there's another one called Guts, or sorry, Berserk Swordsman Guts' Rage, or something like that. It's for the Dreamcast, and it's not bad. If it's like it's Nintendo 64 era, like
Yeah.
Zelda, like you're running around between. Have you ever played Final Fantasy VII, the one with Vincent?
Crisis Core.
Dirge of Cerberus.
Dirge of
Dirge of
Cerberus.
No, I have not.
Okay, it's very much like that.
I'm not the biggest Final Fantasy VII fan.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
It's that 1 and 10 are the only two that. Oh, I guess 6 is my favorite, but 7 and 10 are the only two that I've really delved into.
You should-
outside of the classics.
If you're okay with, I would say, yeah, if you're okay with like classic gaming styles, 4 is my favorite Final Fantasy, storyline wise. I also really
Cecil
dig
is a
8 and 9.
beast. Let's go.
Cecil's such a fucking beast, dude.
I have
Oops,
4
cursed
out in my
again.
living room. 'Cause
Yeah,
I,
it's so good. Yeah,
Yeah.
My favorite Final Fantasy is 15, the hottest of takes.
that
Yeah,
Something
I-
about going on a journey with the boys and seeing like Noctis grow up from being an emotional little boy to like a fully like recognized king, almost demigod.
stop talking about 15. You got me to download it. You talk about it so much and hold it in such high praise that I'm like, this game's got a good story, does it? And I'm like, I'm at the ledge thinking about jumping, and I've been for so long about 15 because of you.
There's so much I love about it. It's my favorite, but like I know it's very personal and a controversial take because I know like the combat's not as good as the other games. The storyline is broken apart amongst DLC and a movie. There's other like different like things that you have to like buy different DLC for to play through all of it. So like I get that like on release 15 was trash. 15 Royal Edition
peak.
I played through that. I still cried. I still bawled. I still bawl every time I do a replay through of Final Fantasy 15. It is my favorite Final Fantasy. Like
That's why
I have a lump in my chest talking about it right now.
Yeah. That's why 4 is my favorite Final Fantasy, because it was the first video game to ever make me actually cry. And it was when Palom and Parum sacrificed themselves in the hallway and turned themselves into stone to stop the walls closing in, and Cecil's casting Cura on them, trying to get them back to life, and they just want, because they're 7-year-old kids, man. 7-year-old kids who sacrificed themselves, made the ultimate power play to make sure the party could continue. And it just breaks my heart.
I remember in 4 when they cast Meteor, and it was like the
oh
person
my
to
God.
do 999 damage, and the boss didn't die, and I'm like, no! Do something! No! Like, 4 was such a, like, trip. I'm so glad. I never talk about 4 a lot, but it is really good.
Dude, going up the mountain and becoming the White Paladin, Cecil, like, oh my
God,
dude, such a twist. Such a twist, dude.
Dog, like, it was literally my favorite, but, like,
and then Cain leaves the party and then comes back after you have to fight him because he's been possessed. Like
before all of the DLC came out for 15, like 4 was my favorite, and then I like to play 10 like on replay. That was what I did speedruns of 4. Shout out to my Twitch. There's a clip of me doing.
My heart, man.
Dude, 10 is good. I like Sid in 10 because Sid's a recurring character. He's like one of the only recurring characters in all of Final Fantasy, and I liked the way they did Sid in 10. Obviously, once again, soft spot for 4 because that's my favorite game. But like, I really like, and I like. He's just like the happiest, dumbest character ever, and I love him for it.
Not
I like
to,
Sora.
hype myself online, but I watched the Final Fantasy X Kabuki play. I had a very limited run, and it was phenomenal. It was so good. I may or may not have copped a copy in a not so smile that way.
Hey, is this not a One Piece thing?
Yeah, we're pirates.
Yeah, we're pirates.
Arg arg, bro.
What did you pirate today? In a piratey way, yar har har, pirate.
The new episode of Rick and Morty.
Damn.
I don't watch Rick and Morty. I don't watch the new episodes to pirate them. I wait till Nux streams them and does his reaction, and then I watch him watch.
Let me tell you about it.
Now, if I had to break down why Rick and Morty is one of the greatest philosophical things you'll ever see on your TV screen, maybe you just don't have the IQ to watch it, but that's why you're watching my stream. It's very poggers.
The next movements with it too, and it's very poggers.
It's one of the most pogger things ever. When Rick turned himself into a pickle and then a leg, I swear.
The live action fixed Syrup Village. I swear it, guys. It fixed Syrup Village.
The live action of Rick and Morty is gonna be one of the most pogger things I've ever seen.
For those of you that don't know, I have Nux blocked on every form of social media I can. I truthfully dislike that man.
Why?
It's very deep rooted hate.
That's fair.
It's like I'm so far in it, I don't remember what the initial reason was anymore. I just know that I have these feelings towards him.
Me with nostalgia critic. I can't remember why I hate him, but I fucking.
Me with Nyanners, but I don't want to start the VTuber community hating me, but like. I don't remember why me and Nyanners have beef. I just know that we do. I don't think it's like... I think it's all one-sided, because there's definitely no way they know about me, but...
Can you give me one Nux where he goes, oh! You know what I'm talking about when he gets excited. He's like, oh!
Did you read the One Piece chapter? Because when I was like, I saw Kuma and I was like, oh.
Oh boy.
I fucking love you, Cody.
I tell you that when Bonclay comes back, you all will not be laughing at me. You all will be ruling the day.
Bonclay's the goat. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
A real one.
A real one. We went from Berserk to Final Fantasy to now just Nux talk.
You're right. Let's go back to not Nux.
Yeah. So One Piece, though, we just spoke about Bonclay. Who's your favorite, like, tertiary character or secondary character?
Dang, this is crazy. You should have been here for the earlier parts, man.
Yeah, I know.
Guess you'll have to watch the VOD. No, I'm kidding.
I will. I do. I do that actually.
H3 time skip and then post time skip law.
I am playing with a D.
That's a B for me.
Yeah, it's backwards on the cat. Well, I guess if you it's like but no, yeah. Cody, how about you?
Favorite character?
Favorite secondary or tertiary character? And you can't say Odin.
Dude. That's not
Hit him with it.
Fuck. Whoop slap?
Whoop slap! Let's go.
Whoop slap is the one who stopped the incident at God Valley and is why the mountain is split in half. He's also the reason why there's a giant hole in Ennis Lobby. He slapped the island so hard that the water got displaced. And that's also the reason why there's a geyser popping up that sent Jaya into the sky. It's because when Whoop Slap slapped the water, the water had to go somewhere, and it created the geyser that sent the fairy Vythor into the sky.
And canonically, he is the warlord that Ace defeated.
Yep.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up. We talked about that earlier. I hold true. I think it's Alvida. Why was she in those panels next to all of the other warlords?
I think you're trolling.
I'm not. I'm genuinely. It doesn't make any sense. Why
yeah, but think about
with the rest of them.
She only had a 15 million berry bounty, man. Like, there's no way.
It parallels Luffy's first win.
Why would they ask Alvida and not Buggy? Like Buggy had a 30. And then if we even think the bigger ones, like Arlong.
Maybe
Don Krieg
was so low because she got thwacked by this hotshot newcomer, Maybe her bounty dropped after losing to Ace.
Ooh, we've never seen a bounty drop in One Piece before.
I'm genuinely not trolling. I hold true to all of the signs are there. I feel like there's validity to it.
It would be a bigger deal when Alvida and Buggy teamed up, I'd say. Almost at the level of when Kaido and Big Mom teamed up, I'd say. Like former warlord Alvida
two
teams
emperors
up with...
versus former and non.
Former warlord and former crewmate of the Pirate King.
But they didn't announce that until Marineford.
But I'm saying that it would have been a deal if she was a former warlord. It would have been brought up.
All I ever think about with Buggy at Marineford is that face he makes where he's like, "Hi, I'm Captain Buggy, and we're here, former crewmate of Captain Roger." Nervous on the screen.
When I think of Buggy, I think of I think of that one face when he's just like smiling, and he's just lips closed, eyes bulging out, he's like the dog where the room's on fire. He's like, this is fine.
Yeah. This is nice. Yeah, this is good.
Dude, I saw a poll the other day. Actually, it was earlier today about who's gonna be the next Pirate King, and it was 50-50 between Luffy and Buggy.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Crazy.
Yeah, people it's a meme answer, but people genuinely think that Buggy will be Pirate King first, and then Luffy will take it from him.
I think it's transcended past meme. I genuinely think it's possible, and that's
Luffy's gonna get the One Piece, and he's gonna realize that it can't help him achieve his dream, and so he's gonna see that Buggy's dream is having the king of the pirates, and he's gonna be like, "Well, if this can't help me, why don't you have it?" And he's gonna give it to Buggy.
He does fail upwards.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a good chance it'll be Buggy, but I think Oda, knowing his fans, won't give it to Buggy. You know what I mean?
That's so messed up.
Yeah, because like he knows, like because he's seen how people reacted to the end of Bleach. He's seen how people reacted to the end of Naruto, and like I guarantee he's going to take that into accountability with his audience because he's already had to reassure his audience that the One Piece is a like finite treasure. It's an actual physical object. It's not. It is not the friends we made along the way.
I don't know though. Oda also did say, guys, don't worry, Luffy's not going to beat Kaido with a big punch.
And he did beat him with a very, very big punch. This is
Oh my
true.
god. Will of Dreams said Straw Hat will get it, then Buggy will steal it, or the fame by broadcasting it like Marineford. Hear me out. Building off of that, what if Luffy and Buggy team up, but the world government takes it as Luffy
Buggy.
joins Cross Guild, and
Yeah.
then Luffy gets the One Piece.
I think Buggy will fail upwards and become king of the world, like in title, if that makes sense. Like he won't mean to. He'll just sit on the empty throne, and everyone will be like, after Emu's defeated, like they're all at Marijois Castle, like talking about what to do now that Luffy's king of the pirates, and he just sits down on the throne, and everyone's like, because think about the first time we see Buggy, his intro, he's sitting on a throne,
yeah,
like laid back. I think he will be the one to sit on the empty throne. That's like my genuine thought, which is just as fucking good as him becoming Pirate King to me. G Fuel. I've been drinking a lot.
Who
Yeah.
put these here?
Yeah.
Like,
Who
come
put these swords here?
on.
I've always had this theory that Buggy at the end of One Piece is going to be Gillidarts.
What?
Hear me out, right? So Gillidarts is a 1-to-1 almost like copy paste of Shanks' character design, and I thought that it would be funny that at the end of One Piece, Buggy mimics the copy of Shanks by using his awakened devil fruit to be able to dismantle things at almost an atomic level.
See, that's what I think too.
If Buggy is...
Well, why did you say what then?
No,
How did?
no, listen. I think that Buggy will awaken his fruit and be able to chop things like that. I think he's whoever had the previous chop fruit is probably who cut the poneglyphs out of whatever they're cut out of.
If Buggy chops himself and then gets hockey like devil fruit canceled, is he okay?
No.
Or like Blackbeard touching him, like would Buggy be okay?
All I say is Gum Gum Human Shield, and that should answer your question.
That is true. Gum Gum Human Shield. Buggy's like, no! I fucking love Buggy and Marineford. Peak.
So, Tree, what's your favorite game to stream on Twitch right now? We haven't really talked a lot about your Twitch or anything.
Boys, I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick. Sorry.
I was thinking about that as well. Like looking at the the thumbnail and being like, dang, like Metal Gear and Zelda are up there, and we haven't talked about either of those. That's crazy.
But it's a good segue, I thought. So let's get into it.
Well, when I am streaming, it's random. Who knows? Who knows what I'll play? I don't know. I'm 2 weeks in a break, but every Monday I typically stream Zelda, and then from there it's a fustercluck. Who knows? When am I streaming? I don't know. What am I streaming? Who knows? When I decide to, I give like a 4-hour heads up in Gang, and I'm like, I have the motivation. I'm doing it. I said I've like hella depressed, so it's hard to find the energy to do things like that. Let alone like sit in front of a bunch of people and I'd be like, hey, it's me, ya boy, let's play this game, and then I'll get frustrated, and then the energy spirals, and I'm like, oh, this isn't fun anymore, you know? Cody,
Streamed in a
peeking.
hot minute. Am I?
Oh, there he is.
Hello. I haven't streamed in a hot minute, so I definitely get what you mean by not having the energy to do that, because I keep getting called out on TikTok and everywhere. They're like, man, Remember when you played God of War? That was a fun time. When are you gonna do something like that again? And I'm like, guys, I don't know what to play. I like this cute Hollow Life girl game right now, but it's like playing something on stream versus like being able to hang out with the boys in Discord and just put it up to the boys is like it's just so much less like work. Like it streams, does it sound good? Am I keeping up with chat? How are my viewers doing? It feels like so much more work versus just like I'm gonna play game and like let the boys spit, and then I'm just gonna chill.
I feel like it's a lot easier to play and stream when you're doing it with other people because then at least you have someone to bounce back with, even if there is like no chat and it's just you and your buddy hanging out. But I feel like a big issue with it is I have forced myself to play the Zelda games, and because of that, uh, not like taking my time and playing it for content with an end goal of beat the game as fast as possible, has like tarnished some of the games in the series for me. Like, uh, it's
Uh,
it's disheartening because I'm taking the enjoyment out of it so I can stream it and like trying to find a healthy balance of
Mm.
like this is a mindless game, let's stream it, but then it's also this is a game that no one's ever heard of, so why would they want to watch it? And having like imposter syndrome of like people aren't here for me, they're here for the game,
Yeah.
and
That's
not
me right
having
now
like
with my
self
Twitch
confidence.
because I always think they're not here to watch my streams to watch me play video games. They're here to watch my players and everyone get fumbled in D&D. Like I don't, and that's why I feel guilty about you playing Twitch and like being like, oh, I want to play video games. But it's also like I built 100 followers up. I built 50 followers up with just me doing like playing God of War like I was and posting those clips on TikTok or going through and doing Overwatch runs where I just have a whole day where I run nothing but the ball character. Or if I do like wacky Baldur's Gate 3 runs where I do evil dialogue choices as a pacifist monk. Like or even like Final Fantasy 10 speed runs. Like I miss doing like that kind of stuff, but it's always like I don't feel like I do it for enjoyment anymore. More so is like I feel like I'm not living up to where people want to enjoy me. Like you said, it's that imposter syndrome. But talking to people and going to therapy for it, it's just like they wouldn't be there already if they weren't there for you. And the people who want to be there for you will eventually find their way to you, but they're not going to
Yes.
if you don't keep putting yourself out there.
Yes.
That's where I'm at, where I'm just gonna start streaming Hollow Cure whenever I want to play it or whenever I'm doing something, or I'm gonna come back to doing Binding of Isaac again because people liked watching me play Binding of Isaac, even if it's just something everyone's done a million episodes on, like
That's
Northern Lion or
kind of like
something else.
kind of what I was trying to get at is like playing the Zelda games with the intent to beat them versus just I feel like playing this game, so I'm going to play it because I'm finding it enjoyable right now and I want to share that with people. Instead of I sit down and I'm like, it's Monday, time to play A Link to the Past. Or what's that meme? Oh my god.
Honey, it's time for your appointment,
It's
and yeah, I know what you're saying.
it's
Yes,
time for A Link to
honey.
the Past.
Yes,
Singing the
honey.
hero's cheek. Like
When I was because I my first foray into content creation was Twitch streaming.
thanks,
That
thanks.
was that was the first thing I ever did, and my most successful streams while I was doing it was when I was playing games that I just picked at fucking random. Like I remember one was old '90s shooter game called Gunslinger or Outlaw. I can't remember the name of it, but it's an old Western game. Nobody wants to watch that shit, but I would play it, and I played through the whole game on Twitch, and that was probably one of my, like I said, one of my best streams I ever had. People were in the chat the whole time. It's so like Vex is saying in the chat right now. It's do it for you. Don't do it because this game's popular right now. People are gonna watch.
Well, I'm saying like I
Mhm.
started playing the Zelda for myself and I love Zelda and I
Yeah,
want to share that with other people, but when I sit down and I'm like, okay, it's Monday, I have to play Zelda. That's where it starts losing
yeah,
its like charm. Is like now I don't feel like I'm doing it because I enjoy it. I feel like I'm doing it because it's a job.
yeah,
I think I just solved my problem.
yeah.
I made a breakthrough. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's why I took
Whoa.
that's why I took a
Therapy's
break off.
crazy.
Yeah, that's why I took a break off TikTok, man. Is because you can ask Cody. I have series on TikTok that they're every week. Every Wednesday, I upload a cartoon of the week. Almost every day, I upload my favorite panel from a One Piece. It's exhausting. Yeah, mentally, it's exhausting to do. But then the joy of that though is, like I said, is in between those videos, I just do whatever the hell I want. If I want to upload a video saying that Cracker's named Cracker because he's white, I can. Like it's.
I love that my TikTok, like going back and looking at my old TikToks versus now, like I think I was just putting stuff out there because I liked sharing my thoughts with people. But the breakthrough I had on TikTok was when people started asking me questions and asking me what my opinions were because they wanted to pick my brain. And I was like, "Whoa, you guys want to hear what what I think about this? That's kind of crazy, but okay."
Yeah.
And like building off of that into what I have now, like putting the spoiler warnings up, listening to people. I had a TikTok had asked me, they're like, "Hey, why don't you try a video longer than a minute today?" And I was like, "You know what? Fine. I'll do it." And I did like a 3-minute Jujutsu Kaisen chapter review off the new chapter we just got, which was insane because it's, you wouldn't think you'd be able to make a video about that, but like being someone who started out content creation on Vine, that if you guys know what that is, like
Yes.
yeah.
I think I posted like 3 or 4 videos ever to Vine.
I think I got like
I did. They
a
were
couple
Grand Theft Auto memes.
I got a couple hundred views just like making like really crappy One Piece memes and crappy loops. But I mean, then I don't know what it was about TikTok that made me want to like just start putting my own thoughts out there. But I think it was like a huge group of my Snapchat friends who were like, "Cody, you're not talking to anyone. This is content gold. You should be putting this out there." And being like, "Nah." And then everyone at the bar being like, "You should start a YouTube channel." People would watch this and be like, "Nah." Like my whole life just like maybe I'll try it. And like TikTok was like my first actual attempt at like, let's see what I can create and if I do like
Yeah.
doing it. And like 3 years in now, I'm almost at 1,000, which I think it's really slow. But honestly, I really like the core like audience that I've really like made, and I really like that like everything's curated to like the people who do find me now are those like-minded individuals who want to hear me get passionate about something, share that passion, and be able to bring other
Yes.
passions to the table, and like they're not afraid to get passionate. That's the whole like that's the Cody ideal. That's the Cody brand. Is like I want people to have a place to get passionate and share their passions with people.
That's what I love about TikTok actually is because like I'm about to hit 3, but it's all of the followers I have. I know them in some aspect. Almost 3,000 of them. Like I will talk to them in my comments. It's about finding that group of people that actually want to talk to you and hear your opinions. Like I got a message from a mutual the other day that was like, "Dude, why don't you do your first thoughts on the One Piece chapters anymore?" Like those were like one of my favorite because Cody, I'm sure you remember I used to open up everyone and I'd be like, "Oh, there's a Madman chapter, blah 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 is out, and I'm here to talk about it." Like, and they like legitimately messaged me and were like, "I miss when you used to do that. Like, why don't you do that?" And so I'm about to bring that back. But yeah, TikTok is wild, man, and it's such an easier way. But I'm not gonna lie, when you said Vine, all I remembered is I posted like 6 or 7 Vines, and all of them only got like 100 to 200 views. And then I had one that hit like 10K, and it was a loop of me puking while I was drunk that I reversed so that like it just looked like I was puking and sucking it back up the whole time. It's like a 4-second clip just looping over and over.
In case you haven't seen any of my content, I was doing a lot of like, oh, here's clips from my Twitch, which I feel is normal. And then my TikTok specific content was Nostalgia Corner. For those of you that don't know, I have a retro game collection that's valued around $16,000.
Nice.
Don't dox and steal from me, please.
I'm coming.
But I would do like quick edits of like that makes the ADHD brain go burr of like grab it off shelf, slam it down on table, unwrap controller and have it like whoosh, like fall into frame, and then like put it in, click, turn on, and then just sit at the title screen and let you soak that in after all of it. And like I was making that kind of content for nostalgia, like really. And then I just stopped because, yep. But it was so good. I don't know. It's like I have so many games to choose from. It's like if I put if I don't know if I put like Mega Man X in, that's a very different audience than if I put Metal Gear Solid 3 in.
Yeah.
And then next week, what do I put in? Majora's Mask? Like I just
Mm.
it's so all over the place, and it's crazy seeing what different franchises do number-wise. Like Zelda explodes more than like anything else, maybe because that's what a majority of my content is. But having like Kingdom Hearts and watching that pop off, oh my god, I did a reaction to the Metal Gear Delta trailer when that came out. That hit like over 10K views, which is like
Mhm.
my biggest thing that I've done. And I I don't know why. I mean, it was very over the I was like crying, screaming, throwing up, you know? I don't know. It's just it's tough. The upkeep of like content like that is like I don't know how to forgo that burnout.
Yeah.
Uh,
The best thing I can suggest is just taking a break, man. Just take a break, 1 week off. That's all it takes, man. Because like I said, I just took a 5-day break from TikTok, and
buddy, I'm like 2 months off. What do you mean?
oh, oh, yeah. Then I'm. But yeah, it helped a lot, like a lot. Like, and it's I don't know, because I have a series that my most popular series is my Devil Fruit rankings, which I'm also doing on YouTube. So at the moment, I'm ranking every Devil Fruit twice. So I've stopped doing them as often on TikTok so that I can try and catch up with the YouTube ones and only have to rank each fruit one time. But then I get
That's
people messaging me being like, "Why aren't you ranking Devil Fruits anymore?" I'm like, "I am. It's just over here now." It's
that's that's another thing is I learned Sony Vegas Pro so I
ooh.
can edit videos. And then I edited like 3 videos ever, and I think like I want to put that level of dedication into the nostalgia corner, and I'm not. And I feel like, well, if I'm not putting my best effort into it, is it even worth it?
Yeah.
Like I just it's the content can be so much better than it is, and I feel like if I don't give it my all, then what's the point?
Mhm.
All or nothing, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's
Uh,
how you have to do it with content creation, man. Is you have to go. You just have to go into it. Like with the news queue, man. The namesake of this interview. Like I just went for it. I was like, "Hey, Fritz, I'm coming over to your house. We're gonna record this video. Let's fucking go!" Like, and we started it, and now it's evolved to something that is like actually edited it. When it at first it was literally just me sitting in front of a camera with a green screen behind me. This is the chapter review for 1086, and like, and now it's like a whole thing with characters and everything. It's wild, man. You just have to go for it though, and then once you find your groove, that's when you can do those things you want to do with like how uh, you want to express your content. Um, there's another example I was going to give you, and I can't remember what the fuck it
My
was.
first Twitch stream ever was me playing Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. Uh and recording me beating Aldia for the first time because I had to use the dry knuckle to get 3 summons because I was like, I can't do it. He's so hard. Help me. I just want to be done with this and not play it ever again. And I never played it again. That
Fair.
my first stream was Bloodborne, and I streamed my entire first playthrough of Bloodborne, and the entire time, every stream was called the meme stream. Come, like, talk memes, and like it's crazy thinking that I have a friend named Clara that joined the stream one day and was like, "Hey, we're gonna be friends now." And we started talking about like theater, and it's so wild that like from like that far back, you know, just making friends and then not like I didn't I did Twitch. I don't even know why I
King
decided to
Kong
do it.
Schlong. Uh,
King Kong
uh,
Schlog, dude.
the goat. I miss them.
Like
Uh,
I just yeah, I love the community aspect of it.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's a lot of fun.
that's that's what the last arc, dude. That's why I love the last arc so much. Is because like, yes, I love being on stream with my boys and like the content creation side of it, but It's the community, man. When I'm deep in a theory debate with Mr. Bushido because he won't stop telling me Carrot's coming back to the story, or like me, Cody, and Smokey lately, or me, Cube, and Smokey lately, sending these Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the chat. Like it's just little things like that like it that's what's special. That's the shit I'm gonna remember. I'm not gonna remember the stress of trying to get the News Coup episode out this week. I'm gonna remember Smokey putting Cube's face in the middle of an ad and ripping on him for like 20 seconds. Like
that's kind of like Gang Gang has been around since I first started streaming, like the Discord channel, and it's gone through so many different variations, and like the most recent time, and like finally settling on, I don't want Gang Gang to be a central hub for one thing. I want it to be that liminal space between servers and like branching communities, and I'm like, oh yeah, you guys like it's so cool seeing like the community of Frosty's like esport team interact with the last arc in Gang Gang. Like it's just
dude, we were all in Gang Gang the other night. I know you remember this, DQ. I don't know if I can't remember if Cody was there the whole. I know he was there for a big chunk of it. When we were just looking through memes, yes. I've been laughing at Legward Cullen for like 4 days because of that.
There's something special about Gang Gang. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's a very good amalgamation of a bunch of different communities in like the best way possible too. It's beautiful, man. You guys have definitely created a really great community over there.
Not us. It's Dylan.
Oh,
it's everybody. It's an everybody thing. I opened the door and I'm like, guys, come here.
Come here. Come look at this.
Beyond that, it's been everybody else.
You guys' love is just like a golden banana.
Please, I can't.
Stop. No. Let's start calling you out on this. Why did you make him and Vex sit through all of Donkey Kong freaking animated TV series? Do you know what it's like to have it recited to you?
Of every music.
You guys did?
What's crazy is I've watched this show, so I knew everything they were talking about without having to even watch stream. I would pop in for a second and be like, oh yeah, that's great.
I'm so sorry. Listen, I just brought it up as like a meme. No, I'm going to listen to the whole soundtrack now.
Well, I expected bangers, and we got like 4 good songs in 2 hours.
Yeah. I don't know why Donkey Kong's voice actor had that good of a voice, though. That's like, I'm nobody's hero. Like, I'm like, yes. Anyone in chat, go watch Donkey Kong Country's animated series from the 90s.
No, don't. Do yourself a favor. Don't.
That's going to be the next cartoon of the week. You heard it here first.
I'm going to shower you with coconut cream pies.
Yeah, like fucking whoa.
Probably the most unhinged lyric in all of it. Oh no, what was the one about they're going to beat you or whatever. They're going to oh my god.
No thanks, Nico.
What was the thing? It was like they're gonna oh my god, it was something about beating them.
Seriously, stop. He said stop.
Oh man.
Okay, but you guys have to admit, Nobody's Hero is like a bop of all bops. Like that song is a banger.
It definitely stood out above every of the rest. That's for sure.
I'm coming on my food. Get all cranky, baby. Get all cranky.
Cranky can't sing. Stop.
He can't.
I was so thankful when Vex and Dylan finally figured out that Cranky Kong songs are not it, and they skipped every single one. Yes. And then I loved it when Dylan had the agenda to be all like, I hate Diddy Kong. Get him out of here. And he skipped every Diddy Kong song.
We skipped 3 songs in the whole 2 hours, not every. When he's done pounding you, or when he's done pounding you, you won't even recognize me. That's what it was. Thanks, Vex.
I say that to my wife at least twice a night. When I'm done pounding you, you won't even recognize.
Are we getting too unhinged for stream? Is this a good note to call it, or do you guys want to?
Yeah, we can call it.
Anything else?
No, hold on. Let me spit with. Y'all ever play Wind Waker?
Yeah, 100 times.
Okay, cool. I wanna tell you guys my wonderful Wind Waker theory on how Ganondorf is a good guy. He's not the villain. All right? So follow me on this. in Skyward Sword, I know this is like really out of left field. I just want to spit a Zelda theory before we go.
Oh, please do. I love Zelda.
So in Skyward Sword, it's established that Demise curses the Zelda lineage and the spirit of the hero. And for every two of them, there will always be Ganondorf to be there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, follow me on this, right? In Ocarina of Time, we have a time, it splits.
3
In
timelines.
adult timeline, Ganondorf succeeds, he gets his ass beaten, and he is humbled. Link goes back and proceeds child timeline. Then we have Wind Waker's the next game. The hero doesn't appear because the hero is sent back in time. He's no longer exists in this timeline.
Yes.
Ganondorf shows up and isn't. He's like, I've learned my lesson. I've seen what it looks like when I rule the land and I get the Triforce. It's bad. The gods have flooded Hyrule. That wasn't Ganondorf's doing. The gods flooded Hyrule, and he's like, I just want to restore the world. So like Link gets gaslit by the King of Red Lions, the
Rohan.
King of Hyrule. He's like, oh yeah, follow me, go over here and do this. And Link's like, okay, I just want to save my sister, and he gets drug along. Link is not a chosen hero. There is no chosen hero for this game. You have to fish out the Triforce because there's no hero to meet the bad because there's no bad. Ganondorf doesn't even have a Ganon form because the Curse of Demise has left him.
You're
Like-
right too, because
Like,
Demise shows up later in the adult timeline.
the next game is
Phantom Hourglass.
which there is no Ganon.
No,
And the
it's
next game is Spirit Tracks, which instead of a Ganon or Ganondorf, the curse has moved on to a different individual.
Yeah.
It's the guy with the 2 horns that hides his horns under his hats,
yeah, the little mare guy. Yeah,
implying that Ganondorf from Wind Waker has moved on. Homie is like, listen, I just want to restore the world. And the King of Red Lions is like, touch Triforce? Nah, man, we're flooding this.
we're flooding this motherfucker.
The gods and the king doomed Hyrule, and Ganondorf was just trying to make it better. He was trying to right his wrongs from Ocarina.
He was trying to make Hyrule great again, is what you're saying?
I mean,
No,
when
I
you put it
always
like
I always saw him in Wind Waker as a tragic villain. Like he's longing to undo the things that he's done, yes, but at the same time, in doing so, would also, from what we understand, destroy the world as the people that are living on it know it. Like bringing up Hyrule would probably kill a bunch of people or unalive them. I should say YouTube. My bad. But I don't agree with you that there's not that Link is forced to be a hero because he's literally called like he's the hero of winds. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't prophesized, but he is the hero of winds.
there's no spirit of the hero in that game.
True.
Like, all of the
Until
heroes,
he collects the Triforce and gets the Triforce of Courage.
he earns the title, but he's
Yeah.
not this like.
Yeah, he wasn't chosen to be he wasn't born to be the hero, like the hero of time or the hero of the Twilight, like or anything like that. Yeah, I got you. That's a good theory, man.
It's I just feel bad for my boy. Homie didn't deserve it.
No,
Homie
yeah.
got a sword through his forehead, turned into a rock, and was left at the bottom of the sea. Like, what? It's just the King of Red Lions makes like every bad
Terrible decision.
he could.
And then he lets himself drown at the end. It's like he knew.
It's just,
Ganondorf is just Kevin Costner. I agree, Vex.
and it's crazy thinking that the gods flooded the land and wiped out most of Hyrule or
Right.
all of the populace. It's the
After
gods'
causing
fault. Like
after causing Hylia to continuously reincarnate as like oh, good
anyways, I just
shit.
wanted to get that off my chest somewhere in a public space.
Yes, of course. I enjoy it. Like I like that a lot. We're gonna have to talk some more Zelda sometime, man.
And then also Metal Gear is great.
Yes, Metal Gear is great, phenomenal.
Well, no, what's your favorite Zelda game?
Skyward Sword. Even when it was just on the Wii.
I remember, this is why I wanted to start this debate.
Uh-oh.
Yep, this is it.
It's the best.
So
It's the best story a Zelda game has ever had.
I was about to say, I love the story of Skyward Sword. I hate the mechanics. It was better on the Switch. I did enjoy playing through it a lot more on the Switch than I did on the Wii. But the story for it is fucking phenomenal, man. That
Unbelievable
said,
series.
I don't think it's the best story in the game. I think Majora's Mask has the best story thematically in any Zelda game.
What story? You show up and the moon crashes down. All of the story is context clues. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a.
That's why I said thematically. That's why I said thematically.
So does Dark Souls have that story because it's only you can find it out through in-game like items and such, and you have to read those descriptions?
I would argue yes. You are right.
Okay.
I also
where that's applicable, like
Yeah.
the Artorias story is told to you through characters. Like that is front and center.
What is your favorite Zelda then, based on gameplay?
Oof. Enough time has passed. Tears of the Kingdom.
Let's go!
It's so good. It's just
I still have not got the chance to play it, and I'm very fucking upset about it.
If
But
I
I've
don't-
avoided all spoilers for the story.
if I
Like,
don't do Breath of the
I'm a
Wild,
known Breath of the Wild hater. I'm a known like 3 out of 10 did not like get me out of that world. I am a known turned converter. 10 out of 10 is my game of the year, is my GOAT. I've played through it twice now. Tears of the Kingdom is a freaking masterpiece of what Breath of the Wild changed on the Zelda formula. I love that game. Sorry, I had to spit. That's my
No, you're
blood.
good, brother.
Some disclaimers here. I have a Zelda tattoo. It's Twilight Princess. I think mechanically it is one of the worst Zelda games.
Yeah, but the storyline's so fucking good. I cried when Midna returned. Like when she went back to the Twilight Zone. Oh god, the Twilight Zone.
I think
Yeah, the
separating
Twilight Realm.
my opinions from the rest of it, A Link to the Past and Majora's Mask, one of those two games are the best mechanically speaking.
You're forgetting though about Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons.
It's hit or miss. One of them was designed to be a puzzle game. One of them was designed to be combat themed.
Yeah.
And then the third one, which they turned into the weird mini dungeon at the end,
Yeah.
is the combination of both.
Yeah.
So it's like the puzzles are cool in one game but suck in the other, and the combat's cool in one game but suck in the other. So
because it's supposed to be played as one big game with like the whole like password system and stuff. And that blew my mind as a child. Like I got both of those for my birthday, and I beat them in like a 2-day fucking time period. I've replayed them so many times. Like I saw people when they dropped on the Switch, I saw people doing this Summerosa dance challenge, like the little mini game there. And everyone was like, "This is so hard." I was like, "You're doing it right, motherfucker." Like, you gotta know it. You gotta know it.
The guy that flies around on the broomstick and crashes into you and
Mabel.
steals your shit. I hate him. All my homies hate him. Oh my god. And the Shy Guy people in the lava area and going on the date.
Peak
so
and trading
good.
the bow so that she has her bow for the date. Like, yeah, dude, it's so good. Yeah, Link's Awakening XD is also in my top 5 though. So like, I've got a soft spot for the Game Boy games.
No, I think Link's Awakening is probably the best of the Zelda games. Like, not like it's the best, but it's the best of.
Yeah.
Because it was a passion project, and it was never supposed to be an official game. It was a bunch of devs in their downtime messing around and having fun. And Miyamoto came up and was like, "Hey, what you working on? Hell yeah, let's make this a full game."
Yeah.
And that's why it has Chain Chomps and Kirby and like Goombas. Like it was a passion project, and it really shows. And combining the items, oh my god.
Yeah, dude, use the bomb arrows for the first time, dude.
Oh yes. Yes,
dude. And then if you could do it when you steal from the shopkeeper and he comes out and just Kamehameha waves you, like, so good.
Changes your name to Thief for the rest of your playthrough as well.
For the rest of your playthrough.
Crazy. But the fact that they let you do it, and like, who figured that out? Like, no, I preach, dude.
Yeah, it's the Ballad of the Windfish lives rent free in my head. Agreed, dude. Agreed.
Soundtrack of the original versus soundtrack of the remake.
For Link's Awakening,
Yes.
the original.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
They missed the mark on a few of the songs, but
Mhm.
mix songs slap. But Ballad of the Windfish is like so
That-
much better than the original.
That said, the opening in the remake is fucking phenomenal, and it made me want to Zelda anime so badly.
Dude, the Oracle games, I don't know if this is a hot take. And it sucks to say because I love Toon Link's design and the Toon Zelda so much, but the Oracle games art style is
It's
like
so good.
perfect.
Dude, I had the strategy guide for those. I bought it at like a secondhand store when I was like 15. And oh my god, dude. I would just look at the art. Like every time I draw Link, be in that art style. Because it's similar to Link to the Past, but it's different at the same time.
Yes.
Like it's
perfect combination.
it's so good. Ages over Seasons, I'd agree. Ages is definitely more puzzle heavy. I really love the mermaid dungeon in Ages. When you go under the water and under the sea, like that's just such a fun dungeon to play.
Seasons had the pirate ship, right?
Yeah, the pirate ship in the desert.
Come on. I don't know.
That's why I always lump them together.
That's so hard to say. Like which one I would prefer.
Majora's Mask is the first Zelda I ever 100%ed, like all the way. Did everything in it. I thought that was really cool. Like I really like that game.
That's why I love Majora's Mask though, because like 100%ing that is the way you get the story. Like you get to see. Oh my gosh.
Okay, hold up.
And you.
Do you mean just the masks?
Yeah.
Or the masks and the hearts?
I did the masks and the hearts. I did everything. Okay. That was the first Zelda I did everything.
Still 100%ing.
Yeah. And getting the Great Fairy Sword.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was so. Oh, they don't even give me something about having a two-handed sword in a game that primarily makes you have like a sword and shield or something. Like it just makes my brain like I'm abandoning it. Burn the ships.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean?
Soul Calibur 2.
What is it?
Soul Calibur 2 with Link on the GameCube.
Oh yeah, dude.
Fairy sword.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Burn the ships because there's no retreat.
I don't know, just the feel and the vibe of like Majora's Mask, man. Really, because I remember I got Ocarina of Time on launch when I was like 6 years old, and then when Majora's Mask dropped, I had just turned like 8 or 9, and it's just such a different tone, and it was the first direct sequel Zelda game, besides obviously the first two. But are they really like direct? You know what I mean? But
in the timeline, yes.
Yeah, in the timeline, yes. But like I can remember specifically being on Snow Peak and doing that where you go and you have the lens of truth and you have to cross the invisible bridge, like. And just feeling in that moment, being like, damn, this is different. This is not Ocarina of Time. Like, this is something completely else. We don't bring up Voldo, Vex. How dare you?
I'm big into the FGC, and I hate him.
Voldo makes me so upset. Dog, don't. It's why I will never come back. I'll never come back to Soul Calibur. Straight up.
He's so hard to read.
What's up with...
Curious. I play Ivy.
And her Washington outfit, yes.
Oh my god.
I only play Guilty Gear.
Ziba, depending on the game.
Fighters.
What's up with Yoshimitsu being in both Tekken and Soul Calibur?
It's all Bandai Namco.
He's the GOAT.
Fair. He is the GOAT, though. Yoshimitsu!
Tekken's really fun. I picked up Tekken 6 because my boy, y'all know, my boy showed up, and I said, I'm picking that up. I gotta learn them moveset. Like, when Noctis showed up in that trailer answering the sound, I was like...
Akana Canyon, the soundtrack to Akana Canyon, man, and, like, the storyline to it with the giant Skulltula and everything, or not Skulltula, but, Skullchild and everything, like, it's...
God, but, like, nothing will ever match Gerudo Valley. Like, I'd try...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, musically, no.
Hold up. Not the title theme for Wind Waker, but when you take the Ballad of the Earth God and the Ballad
of my god, dude.
Wind God's Aria, or
Aria.
And you mash them and you create the title screen opening, that is peak Zelda
music. Peak Zelda music. Or when Makar is first learning the Ballad of the Wind God, and he's like... it's like, ah!
I almost just spoiled the thing in Tears of the Kingdom with music, but I think Tree knows where I was about to go with that, mentioning Wind Waker and all of that.
Ugh.
Like
I know.
that is one of my that is
That
one of the
theme is
most
Okay.
peak moments I've ever had in gaming ever.
So I have a question, and I don't mind if you guys spoil me. Is it true? Because I know some things about Tears of the Kingdom, but like I said, I have avoided most major spoilers. Is it true that it's a convergent timeline? Like it's where the timelines meet?
It's complicated.
Yeah,
Have
so
you
was
ever
Breath of the
played-
Wild, man.
Have you ever played Oblivion?
Yes.
And you know how they find a way to like make all of the timelines canon?
Yeah.
And it like it hazes all of the timelines together, kind of.
Mhm.
It's something like that is what the common Zelda theory is right now.
Yeah.
There's nothing official, but it seems to me, or it seems to be that the first kingdom of Hyrule is established, and that is in the past, but after the three timelines. So it's like it's blurry. It's like
It's like a
blurry.
loop almost.
Yeah, I remember like the timeline thing got really muggy. Oh, Tree, is your
Like-
mic working? Oh, there.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild and Tears are a loop, but they're a loop after all of the rest of it.
Yeah.
And the way the loop works almost makes it so like they're superimposing something into Breath of the Wild, or before Breath of the Wild technically, and what they're superimposing like hazes the lines of before Breath of the Wild and the rest of the timeline.
Like Zelda's speech was a really big thing for a lot of Zelda's theorists when Link got coronated in, and she said like throughout the realms of Twilight,
Breath of
throughout
the
the
Wild.
Oh, yeah,
seasons-
Breath of the Wild, Breath of the Wild. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Breath of
Yeah.
the Wild, dog. Chill.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
I was
spoil
like,
you.
Well, that
No.
no, it doesn't matter because we have rock salt from Wind Waker. Like,
Yep.
they can mention Twilight Princess. but
well,
they-
and then in the Japanese, they mentioned Wind Waker.
Also take into consideration where the Master Sword is. That's
Yeah.
something I didn't talk about. I have a theory that there's 2 Master Swords.
Oh,
Yeah, go
well,
on.
that would make sense. That would make sense with Fee and Oh my god! All I remember is the guy from
Garaham.
Skyward Sword. Yes, the Garaham. It would make sense that he would be like may become another Master
No,
Sword.
It's the manga at the end of the Zelda Encyclopedia showcases
Yeah.
a story with all of that doesn't matter. They use the Master Sword to raise Skyloft into the air.
Yeah.
Link creates a new Master Sword. Where did the first Master Sword go?
I know what you're talking about too.
And it's like, why do
With
we
the
have
goddess
two
Hylia and everything, and the hero of man or whatever it is.
and it's like, why do we have 2 locations for the Master Sword?
Yeah.
And like understanding the geography and this like the Zelda Encyclopedia, no, not the Zelda Encyclopedia, the Zelda, not
Hyrule Historia.
Well, and
Or-
also
You're
there
right, it
being
is the
two
encyclopedia.
two
pretty
Master
funny.
Swords would make Tears of the Kingdom's canon a lot more interesting too.
Maybe like thinking about where the Master Sword is at the end of each of the timelines. We lost a Master Sword under the sea to Ganon's head or
Yes.
Ganondorf's head, but like we also have a Master Sword that's in the woods, in from like A Link to the Past.
Well,
And, like, the fact that that Master Sword never gets touched again because Link uses the white sword and a regular sword in Zelda 2, and like that's where the timeline ends, is crazy.
yeah, and in Zelda 1 as well, he only uses the wooden sword, the regular sword, and then the magic sword. Like
Yep.
it's not, yeah. And then there's
And
no
Twilight Princess also leaves it in the woods in the same
Yeah.
location. But there's like 2 locations for the Temple of Time, technically speaking, and none of that really makes any sense. Like
Mhm.
it's just Cody, I'm looking at you. That it still doesn't make sense with Tears of the Kingdom. It still doesn't.
He's tried so hard.
It does. It makes sense to me.
Well,
Because there's no Master Sword in Spirit Tracks or Phantom Hourglass,
no, you
and
get the
I-
Phantom Sword and the Locomo Sword.
and the Locomo Sword. And in Phantom Hourglass, the Phantom Sword, we don't even know if that's real or not because it was all part of the dream of the King of the Ocean. Like,
Well, that's another theory. Like Lineback forgoing his wish to instead sail the seas with Link, or
Yeah.
maybe he was always real, and he just happened to also bump into the like ghost ship. Like
That's what I always thought.
is this?
That's always how I interpreted the ending. Because let's be real, Linebeck is best boy. He is the best fucking side character in any Zelda game. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh, Spirit Tracks Zelda, first of all.
Oh yeah. Spirit Track Zelda is cool. When you put her inside, oh no, that's Phantom Hourglass. Yeah, Spirit Track Zelda is pretty cool. No, Spirit Tracks is the one where she can possess things, right?
She does.
Or is that Phantom Hourglass?
It's Spirit Tracks.
It is Spirit Tracks, yeah.
She
Okay.
also does it in Phantom Hourglass. She does not. But
Yeah,
you can
no.
still chop them.
Yeah. It's God, I need to replay Spirit Tracks. That's like
Tears
one of
is
the
so
best.
good.
I need to play Tears. I'm thinking about because this weekend I was gonna buy new Joy-Con so I could play Fortnite more effectively on my Switch, but now I'm thinking I just might go buy Tears of the Kingdom.
If you have Drift, you need to get new Joy-Cons because man,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then wait till next week and get Tears of the Kingdom. Maybe that'll be
Drift
my
is gonna
Christmas
suck if
presents.
you have 'em.
If
Yeah,
you,
my right Joy-Con is fucking drifty, boys. Like,
do you have a Wii U by any chance?
no.
Ah, dang. Okay. You can before they shut down the store, so now there's ARG ways to do it. But Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass were both sold on the Wii U eShop.
Yeah.
So you can play with the touchpad and then the big screen.
Oh, I have a DS with an R4 card.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, I had to figure out ways around it because I wanted to stream the games, and I've streamed Phantom Hourglass through completion on stream.
That's awesome.
But I couldn't, like, I own the games physically, and I'm not gonna pay $1,000+ to
Get a
take
setup for
apart
a
my
DS.
DS and
Yeah.
solder in like special pieces. Like I just it wasn't happening. So I may or may not have jailbroke my Wii U.
That's fair, man. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, I think that there's two Master Swords. I think Ganondorf was a good guy in Wind Waker.
See, after Breath of the Wild, that's what I thought. I thought it was a convergent timeline, setting up a perfect loop kind of thing. So it's nice for me. I need to play Tears of the Kingdom to finalize it, but I it's nice to me to know that I was kind of on the right track. Because I also called it Tears. I said whatever this, if they do a direct sequel for Tears of the Kingdom or for Breath of the Wild, I said it was going to be about the Zonai. And the minute I saw the trailer for Tears of the Kingdom, I was like, I called it. Because I was like, why did they show us all this Zonai stuff in Breath of the Wild, but they're nowhere to be found and it's all mysterious? I was like, they're gonna do something with this.
The original theories. I don't know how big into the Zelda community you are, but
Huge. Like I love it.
this was so crazy. Is this how you guys feel talking about One
I
Piece?
think
Yeah.
I think there has to be at least one more Zelda game in that trilogy of like storyline because we see I don't want to spoil anything, but like there's this big thing that happens
Hey, handsome.
and there's this whole other thing that's just left unexplored and it's like, huh. I wonder what they're going to do now with Hyrule now that they can.
Well, when we get another Zelda game, it's definitely going to be on the next console. Whatever the next console is, that's when we'll get it. And Nintendo, I think, said that they're going to be
Nintendo chip. You're going to get a chip in your brain, and it'll allow you to experience.
I'll fucking love it. I'll do it, dude. I'll do it. I've had my Switch since launch, bro. It is a Gen 1 Switch. Like it's, I am fucking there.
I would get chips. Are you kidding me?
I don't know. I don't think that there can be another Zelda game continuing where we left off from Tears of the Kingdom. But I do think that if we do get a new Zelda game in this same like enclosed cycle of games being Age of Calamity, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, I think it's going to be with the ancient hero 10,000 years.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah. Because I want to see because we've seen these robots and stuff like that, and obviously I haven't played Tears of Kingdom, but we saw the robots in Skyward Sword. I would also like to see something when that era of time, but I want a futuristic Zelda game. Yeah.
Well,
but I want
that's Age of Calamity. We
see,
have that.
Is Age of Calamity canon though?
Yes, and then also no.
Yeah. See, that's why I haven't played it. Like
it's canon up until it's not.
Yeah, that's also why my least favorite Zelda game is Triforce Heroes. I could not get in it, and it's canon. It's fucking canon. It's part of the timeline. That happened. That is technically the third game in the Link to the Past trilogy, and I fucking hate it. Like,
it's weird because like you aren't playing as Link. You're just
yeah.
a kid, and you just happen to meet the hero's description. And it's why there's also no Ganondorf in that game. You know, like There's
Yeah,
no
it's
reincarnation of demise.
what's her name? It's like Fashionista or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's
Isn't the Force sword the Picori sword from?
Yes.
Minish Cap.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I know.
In Minish
I
Cap,
know
you
stuff.
forge the Force sword. It's so cool. Shout out
I
Minish
know
Cap.
that.
Shout out
I
Minish Cap.
played that one. I am
Yeah,
a Zelda guy. Crazy.
Minish
To
Cap is
answer
the game I need to
to
collect 100% of the Zelda games physically.
to answer your question about how deep I am in the Zelda community, I was around when Minish Cap first came out, and everybody was breaking through that was the first game in the timeline. Like I was there for that big revelation when everybody was like, "Oh yeah, this is definitely the
remember
first game."
being against that group of people.
Really?
Yes, it doesn't make sense. Why are there Force gems? Why isn't it after Ocarina of Time and before Four Swords Adventures? Like, it doesn't make sense. What
But it
happened
does
to
once
Force-
you've played Skyward Sword. It does. But I'm very sad that the Minish have not shown back up. And they were supposed to be in Breath of the Wild. There's concept art for them in Breath of the Wild, but I want the Minish to show back up. Really, or the Bakuri. My bad.
Oh,
The
that's what I was
Bakuri.
gonna say. The Zonai were set up to be very similar to the Twilight from Twilight Princess.
Really?
Yeah, that was the big ongoing theory was
Yes.
the
Yes.
Twilight, and like all of the color theory matching between both groups of people and individuals, and like we get definitive answers in Tears of the Kingdom. They're not the Twilight people. I'm gonna rip that band-aid off. Go in with an open mind, not being tainted by can Midna show up? You know,
Well, definitely not. This is years and years in the future, so she dead. But
maybe.
yeah, I was on board with the whole. It was potentially like a predecessor to the Twilight, because I would love to see
God, dude. And Sam-
eventually,
or not Sam,
like
Ganon's like collar having
Yeah.
the dragons from the Zonai.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
it just everything was leaning.
It
towards
lined
that,
up, dude. Yeah, it
and they
lined up
took
completely.
away.
Yeah, I would love though to see also like maybe a game before this where we see the people get banished to the Twilight Realm. The interlopers get banned to the Twilight Realm. That would be cool.
Man, Zelda's so good.
It is, man.
So good.
And the lore is so deep too. Like once you get into the lore, you're hooked for life. Like it's
Dude, I remember coming across like Lineback Isle or whatever in
Mhm.
the like swampy area in Breath of the Wild and like popping off so hard and like, oh my god, that means it has to be here, or like all of the theory crafting when Breath of the Wild came out and like trying to place it on this timeline and then seeing the official place on the timeline from the Japanese exclusive Zelda website.
Yeah.
Is like all the timelines cut off and it just says Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And like that's where everyone started going, oh, does it converge everything? And
Yeah.
like that's where the origin points of that theory stem from. And like it's so good. It's so good. Also, Vex, shout out to you. Force Ords 4 player is crazy. I have
Handsome
almost lost
is
friends.
actually speaking my language right now. Oh my god. My brother, you're talking to the #1 defender of Skyrim. You're talking to the
Skyrim,
champion of the Nords. You're talking to the defender of the Daedric fucking princess. I am him. I am
remember-
Dovahkiin.
Homie, you are Stockholmed. They released that game like 8 times.
And I played it through 100% fine. I love it. You know what you have to do to get achievements? No mods. I did it 5 times. It's fun.
5 times. My
love
biggest
Skyrim.
stream I ever did on Twitch was a 12-hour stream where I tried to play through like as fast as possible all of the Elder Scrolls games. I made it to I think it was Morrowind, and I was like, I'm fucking done. I can't do this anymore. Like,
Elderfall is such a chore these days.
dude, so is Arena. Like going through Arena sucked. That took up the first like 4 hours of that stream.
Dude, Morrowind's so
You
bad.
know what? Heck, Skyrim. Skyrim came out in December. They cut off the Game Awards in like mid-November. It should not have been eligible for that year's Game of the Year, and it beat out Skyward Sword. I
Yeah,
hate Skyrim.
yeah, that's
You know
dumb.
what? Skyrim is so good. I love it. I remember like the
Fritz.
interaction with the community and being able to like go to school like after exploring a cave, and then like someone else is like at a completely different corner of Skyrim doing something entirely different. And then when we all discovered Blackreach, like, dog, I'll never get to have another cool thing at school being like, yo guys, not gonna believe what I just found.
Fritz said this went from an interview to a Chad episode fast.
I guess maybe we should end it, huh?
Tree, you want to come back Friday for Chad Bros?
Yeah, wait. What day is it?
Wednesday.
Tomorrow is Game Awards. I'm streaming that. So yes, I'm free Friday. I just
There we go.
Well,
do
why
my
don't you
mental
let these
gymnastics.
wonderful people know where to find you then for tomorrow's stream for the Game Awards? This is where you plug your links
Sorry,
and
I was
plug
looking
your
at
links.
Handsome's icon. Handsome, before we go, what's your icon? Do I know them? Is that Madaka Kurakami?
You are drawing me nuts, man.
Anyways, while I wait for that, I'll outro. Hey, I'm Dylan. I am Tree the Wolf. You can find me at twitch.com/Tree the Wolf. Believe it or not, I'm also Tree the Wolf on TikTok. I'm also Tree the Wolf on Twitter. I post very questionable things there. Hi, I'm going to be commentating over the Game Awards with my boy SSJ Cody here, actually. Tomorrow at 6:15 is when we're starting. So, Game Awards start at 6:30. Be there or don't, do your own thing. We're going to have fun. I'm going to popcorn it to
Where
Lucas.
people can find Lucas? That's what I was going to say.
Hi there, I'm Straw Hat Lucas, helmsman of The Last Ark. You can find me here on The Last Ark YouTube channel, where I just dropped a really good episode of the new Coo chapter review. And you can also find me on TikTok at straw_hat_Lucas, where I just came back from a 5-day break with a new episode of Cartoon of the Week. I stream here every week, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And on Saturday, I also stream on SSJ8 Cody's Twitch channel, twitch.tv/SSJ8Cody, for D&D, One Piece D&D, with the best crew I've ever played with. And I'm a popcorn to Cody.
Hot take, Lucas. Damn.
Listen,
guys. No, you don't spit. I want to hear why this is a hot take.
No, why is that a hot take? I'm playing with literally you guys in 2 groups and then Cody in another one. So if I say that, like, all of the groups are goated.
Okay, I hear you.
Cody ate will eat. That's right, Vex. Hashtag
That's right.
popcorn to Cody.
All right. Hi guys. This has been the News Coo interview with Tree the Wolf. Thank you so much for coming on to TLA. We love getting to hear your experience with One Piece and just hearing you be you. It's been I've been wanting to get you on here to sing your praises and get you that sweet exposure. So thank you so much for coming on here. It's always a pleasure to get to talk with you and hear you spit your theories and passions. You can find me on the Last Ark YouTube channel. I am the Special Grade Sorcerer. I stream with them a lot. It's whenever they need me, I'm there. I'm the Special Grade, Just like Gojo, I clap my hands and I say, nah, I'd win. If you want to see more hot takes of mine, you can find them on TikTok /SSJ8Cody, where I talk about Jujutsu Kaisen and One Piece on chapter release. You could also find my hot takes on twitch.tv/SSJ8Cody something, so that you can watch me play video games and be a DM in D&D and put my players through a ringer. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here, and I hope you all have a great night. This is where I click the end stream button if my mouse appears.
You'll get it.